Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere north of some devastating Texas floods. My name is BrianEngelman. Today is the day after Independence Day, 2025, and this is the TNAM Daily Show here on the new American media, because the old American media has failed you. Hope you had a wonderful American birthday party yesterday. Tell me in the comments how you enjoyed your time. And I'll tell you, every time I click on Rumble, I'm seeing these "What happened to Thomas Massie" commercials. Vote Thomas Massie out. It's like, he's fiscally conservative. He's principled on that. You can say maybe not because he voted for a Biden thing. Look, budgets are messy. Budgets are inherently messy, and they're unpleasant, and they got it passed. We need some fiscal sanity. We got the one big beautiful bill that was signed into law yesterday by President Trump. It's done. One less thing to worry about. Now, we got the crippling debt spiral that we're on that's going to surely lead us into bankruptcy. Oh, don't worry. We got plenty of American land we can sell off. Oh, no, wait. Everybody's up in arms if you try to sell the land to pay off the debt. So there you have it. That's what's going on in the universe. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Tell me in the comments how you spent your wonderful Independence Day. Mine was poolside. You might be able to tell that I have some sun. Swimming, man, I've been enjoying the swimming. Woo, good exercise. Big fan. Whew, I guess I am kind of red, huh? But my face usually gets a lot of sun anyway, so just kind of shocking that no, it's not so bad. I'm kind of red. Kind of okay. All right. Let me go ahead and put the comments up. Good morning, David in Ontario. Deb, not in San Francisco. And everybody else. All right, let's go ahead and launch today's program. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Your guide to the truth, the new AmericanMedia.com.
All right. Thank you for being here. Looks like we are up on Rumble, although it's paused. Let me get it launched again. We are up here on Facebook, which is great. Follow us in all the places. Let me put this on the screen here. The New American Media is on Instagram, Facebook, True Social, Rumble, Odysee, Twitch, Kick, D Live, and YouTube at The New American Media. Join our live show right now. Live turned into pie. Well, that's not what I typed. Join our pie show right now. No, I'm not having a pie show. Also, the New American Media is on Telegram and Signal at TNAM and TNAM Chat. We're on X at American_media_. And please subscribe to our podcast, The Agree to Disagree Show, on Spotify and Apple. Okay. Whew, yeah, I got some sun and then took a nap. And I mean, it's just being out in the heat, man. It takes a little out of you. That is for sure. Sun glow looking great. All right. Well, whew, yeah. Just laying around in the sun, man. It takes the energy. Had some of those Gatorades, and what were the other what are those little packets called? Oh, geez, Nimbus. Here, I got you. Sorry. Nimbus jumped up right as my hand was there, and I think I like blocked him, and he fell half down. You okay, bud? Hey, you all right? Yeah, he's fine. Okay, thanks. All right, Nimbus has entered the chat. All right. Electrolytes. I don't know, like an electrolyte drink. The Bobby approved ones with better ingredients. All right, here, let's go ahead and tell you what's going on in the universe, shall we? It's our weekend show. Here we go. Check this out. This is super cool. Let's get the volume up. President Trump with his hand on Melania's back. Aw, how sweet. These are the B-2 bombers that attacked the Iranian plants. They fly over the White House on Independence Day. I wonder if I'll get a copyright. Look at that. There's the B-2 bomber that bumped the Iranian. I mean, what a cool view. Oh, there's the other one. All right, that's pretty cool. Oh, I think he was reminding her, like, hey, put your hand on your heart, honey. Oh, that's funny. Good reminder. Here you go, Benny Johnson sharing this. This is President Trump officially signing the big, beautiful bill into law at the White House. I've got my concerns, my reservations about the spending. I'm happy that we're getting ICE enforcement. I'm happy. Hi, guy. I don't need licked, but thank you. I don't need your sandpaper tongue on my sunburnt face, but thank you. Nope. Hands off of the. One of these days, I'm going to find a way for Nimbus to hang out up here without getting all up into everything. I have my reservations, but just locking in the budget, now you can move forward and you can do some big things. It's clutch. It's clutch. Like I said, otherwise, every single day it would be, budget battle on Capitol Hill as they near the debt ceiling limit. Creditors are warning that we're about to lose our AAA rate. It's just, it couldn't handle that. And what is it? It's a 10-year budget, or it's projected out to 10 years. It's locked in the tax cuts, no tax on tips. It's done a lot of things that were supposed to be done. Now, moving forward, it's the Trump budget. And I would like to see some ways that we can reduce the spending or work in increasing the funding. It's just Trump has inherited a mess. And Trump, during his 4 years, he definitely spent. And you spend, and that's called inflation. That's a tax on the American people. That's the most insidious tax ever, because just by extra spending, you're going to have inflation that's going to make your money worth less. Oh my gosh, Nimbus, what are we doing? He's rolling around sideways. I think he's just happy to see me. Right, buddy? So I'm thrilled that the budget is done just because it's over with. Maybe that's a lazy take, but honestly, have you ever worked on a budget? 25 buildings, 216 units. I had to put budgets together for my HOA. I worked in property management. I had to put budgets together for other HOAs. You know what? If you want to paint buildings, if you want to repair driveways, if you want to fix roofing, you want to do new gutter systems, you want to do irrigation upgrades and, timers so that you can set the timers with remote controls and that they'll only kick on at 3 a.m. so you're not wasting water that's going to evaporate and you're not going to get a ticket from the city for watering during a drought. Hi, bud. Hi, guy. I had to go through the process. It takes years. You got to build up the funds. You got to appropriate. You do line items. You say, well, we're gonna do more for lighting. We're gonna upgrade all the lighting kits, and we're gonna do more. It just, you have to put it together. Every administration has to do it, and Trump did not need this hanging over his head. So anyway, I'm glad we're past it, but now I want to figure out how we're going to handle this debt. What do we do? What magic wand is in his bag of tricks to get rid of this debt? Where's the volume? I undid the volume.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Wow.
There he goes. You see President Trump with every piece of legislation. He holds a meeting. He lifts up the document. He signs it. He shows you that he's doing it. It's all the things Joe Biden wasn't doing because Joe Biden wasn't all there. Some people say Joe Biden hasn't been there since 2020. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know what I mean? Like, he's not really Joe Biden. I don't know about that, even though President Trump said that, and he's got the best intelligence in the world, but I digress. The auto pen, we don't know who did that, but we know that's President Trump sitting right there signing that. Deb saying budget management sucks. It's okay. It's okay. I've done this with UAO, my university activities organization, with my lodge. I've been on different boards of directors having put budgets together. It's okay. It's fine. It's just, it's tedious. It's time consuming. It's necessary. And nothing really gets done until you have it. So now it's like, you think the first 6 months have been fast? Wait till you see what happens now that the budget's put together. Deb saying yesterday was an epic Independence Day. Yes, we call it Independence Day, not the 4th of July. David up there having Crown and Cokes pre-made. Oh, like out of the can? Like canned Crown and Cokes, triple C score. Deb saying the fireworks at the White House were amazing. Yep, and no auto pen. Thank you all very much. As Joe Biden once famously said, Barack Obama, this is a big effing deal.
That was a good one.
There you go. Make America the greatest it's ever been. Yeah, Trump is great at branding, that's for sure. Big, beautiful bill. I prefer single item votes. You have 15 big items on it. Let's do votes on each 15. Yeah, I don't like these omnibus. I don't like these big, massive, bloated, confusing pieces of legislation. I like single items. But here we are. Kenneth, instead of auto pen, we know who the president should have been. Yeah, I like what you did there. Hello, Nick Adams Show. Adam Kokesh was right. This is all the shadow of the beast we are talking about. Nick, did you see my recent interview with Adam Kokesh? Is that what brought you over here? Did you see our interview with him? And look, libertarians, Thomas Massey, Adam Kokesh, Evans O'Brien, I'm seeing a lot of negativity. That's sort of par for the course for the libertarian perspective. There's a lot to be concerned about. There's also a lot to be happy about. There's actually a lot of, wow, we're finally fixing this. Wow. So I don't know. I mean, we'll find out when we're done. We're all just guessing here, but I'm trying to keep a positive perspective here. I think there's a lot to be happy about in one big, beautiful bill. I think there's a lot to be Happy about. Very good interview, though. Made me subscribe. Yes. Thank you, Nick Adams. You know, we try to have interesting conversations with interesting people. Maybe if you haven't checked out my interview with John B. Wells, one of my favorite regular guests over the past 10, 15 years, 14 years we've been doing our show. Yeah, it's like in certain lights, I look very red. In other lights, I don't. I'm looking at my monitors here, and it's like, did I get that much sun? Yeah, it's a very good interview, though. It made me subscribe. Thank you, Nick Adams Show. Happy to have you here. Yeah, you know, I can't play you this because of copyright, but I'll play you the first couple seconds of it. Just that's about all I can do without copyright. It's on our Instagram feed, The New American Media. Go watch it. Whitney Houston's Star Spangled Banner is so good. Oh, it's so good. So go watch it. I wish I could play it for you, but they've gone bonkers with their copyright claims. Oh, come on. Check this out. Greatest Air Force in the world. Can't play Freebird, but look at these maneuvers. Spinning circles around, the red, white, and blue flying around. All right, that's pretty cool. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. That's pretty cool right there. I reckon. Yeah, I don't know where this is at, but Europeans wouldn't understand. Look at how cool that looks. Come on, that's neat. They're saying that's the Royal Air Force you've posted. Is that not even ours? That is a reel of RAF's red arrows. Nothing American about it. Well, look, it's red, white, and blue. We're going to claim it. I love the comments section. Maybe it's ours, maybe it's not, but it's cool and it's red, white, and blue. I'll take it. But the comments section is super helpful. July 4th, 1776. That's our real No King's Day. That goofy little, it's been said that they're dramacrats. The Democrats are dramacrats. They're the theater kids. Just going up and acting a fool. And it really does make sense to describe the dramacrats. Oh, no kings. Yeah, this was our No Kings. It's called Independence Day. Got some good memes. Who put this one? Communism Survivor? From The Office. July 4th, 1776. The British. Just saying you're independent doesn't make it true. Thomas Jefferson. I didn't say it. I declared it. I'm going to declare bankruptcy. And look, the libertarian thing about declaring bankruptcy, I know it's a joke about declaring independence, but it's declaring bankruptcy. That's not how you do it. I declared it. We played a clip of Elon Musk 2 days ago saying how we're whistling through the graveyard with our budget, with our debt, with our spending, with the inflation, with the fact that we're on a debt spiral, a crippling debt spiral that's going to lead to just rampant hyperinflation like Zimbabwe, and we're cooked as a country. I get it. That's what the Tea Party was all about. Taxed enough already. What are you doing spending all this money? It's been a mess since George W. Bush. You see things went super through the roof after 9/11. So now that we've got our budget together, let's try to find some better ways to stop spending so much. But you can't sell off that private land that the federal government owns, so then you could pay down the debt because, don't you dare sell our land. It's like, there's no winning. There's no winning. So we could either try some stuff or just take the black pill and be miserable all day. This is the most excited and optimistic I've felt for an administration, maybe in my lifetime. And it's fair to have 1,000 concerns about 1,000 different angles of this. And we explore those things here. We're not sycophants. We try to be honest. We try to honestly describe the situations as we find them. You need coffee? I got coffee. Found this at a garage sale, I think. Where did I get this? Maybe a thrift shop. It's a Los Angeles mug. I do miss, forgive me, folks. I do miss Los Angeles sometimes. I actually interviewed Adam Kokesh in Los Angeles. Nick Adams. Nick, do you know that Adam Kokesh and I went to the Los Angeles City Hall and we had an event for the homeless. And we were complaining that Los Angeles was misappropriating homeless funds. I was saying you need to get these people off the streets. You need to change whatever laws that are prevent the ACLU. Oh, no, they got a right to set up and block the sidewalks. No, they have a right to just camp out in your front yard. It's like, no, they don't. And you know what? The veterans, the VA over there by UCLA, they have so much property. It should be a tiny home subdivision full of people. You give someone autonomy, a place to sleep, a place to lock the door, a place to be safe, maybe a communal shower, serving food once a day, 3 times a day, whatever. Yeah, I was there with Adam and we were talking about various complaints and had a protest right there at City Hall. It was kind of fun. Nick says, I voted twice for Trump, but I got to say, I'm glad I didn't vote this time around. What is the biggest concern this time around? I feel like this is the best term we've had with President Trump. He was so handicapped, so handcuffed on his first term. But I get it. There's plenty to have concern about, but there's also wins. There's also a lot of wins. David says, we are winning and hopefully continue to win. Yes, David, a Canadian. He's our brother to the north. Anyway, back to the memes. The memes are the greatest. I didn't say it. I declared it. Just saying you're independent doesn't make it true. Welcome to July. This is Pride Month. Pride in your country. Sarah Adams, she's been making the rounds. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy today. Celebrate our cherished freedoms. But know that our enemies, both foreign and domestic, hate that you feel proud to be American. They want you fearful, divided, unprepared. And honestly, Nick and everybody else, okay, in the AI dystopia. Well, okay, I got you. But I think there is a black pill component to libertarianism. With budget reconciliation, I had to put things on budgets that I didn't want to do. And there's sort of a give and take. I would always say, like on a board of directors, I'd tell the other directors, guys, you start the year off with $1. First thing you do is you sit down at the table, you go, all right, 5 people on our board of directors. Here's $1, here's $1, everybody gets a dollar bill. Now, push your dollar bill forward and I'm going to give you a stack of coins, a quarter, nickels, dimes, and some pennies. Throughout the course of the year, you get to spend your dollar however you want. There could be one pet issue where you push all of your money in and go, I'm all in on this. This is the most important to me. I need this to be this way. But you're out of money. You can't really have opinions on all the other issues if you were so adamant about one. You're spent. But it's like if you'll pepper your opinions in, a penny here, a penny there, maybe a nickel here, maybe a dime. And then you're just kind of balancing and holding out for real important issues. It's a balance. It's a give and a take. But I think the libertarians choose to live with the black pill, with the negativity more often than they need to. Some of it's self-flagellation. They're just throwing whips over their shoulders. And what was that? And Dan Brown, the Da Vinci Code, he's self-flagellating. He needs to make sure he feels pain. And there's oh, well, I have to vote for Chase Oliver. I call him Chase Olivier, the best candidate ever. I'm like, nah, bro's kind of like supporting unnecessary genital mutilation. That's a non-starter for me. The kids have to be protected from Munchausen mommies. No, thank you. But there is no perfect candidate. In every government is too much government. So you try to balance a little bit of opinion here, a little there. But like Sarah Adams is saying, she's just concerned. Saying our enemies, foreign and domestic, hate that we feel proud to be American. They want us fearful, divided, and unprepared. Don't give them the satisfaction. Stand tall, stay proud, and now more than ever, stay ready. Freedom is worth celebrating, but it's also worth protecting. Take nothing for granted. So yeah, she's saying stay frosty. I'm going to tell you about the Texas flood story in a moment, and that's a good reason to, oh my God. I just don't remember floods that are this catastrophic before. If any of you are unaware, I would like to let you know that we did a documentary. We did a documentary called Hurricane Helene, Help on the Way. We went down to North Carolina and toured the destructive flood damage from Hurricane Helene with our buddy Grizzly of Grizzly's Tattoos in Southern Virginia. We went from Southern Virginia into Tennessee and then into North Carolina. But yeah, stay frosty. Stevie Ray Vaughan had an album called Texas Flood. And I mean, what is the death count now? There's 21, 24, 25. I'm seeing different numbers, but they said the river went from 0 to 27 feet like that. I mean, stay frosty, stay prepared. Stay cool, calm, and collected is what that means. We covered the military term, Marines, I believe. Stay frosty. I think World War II. I forget where it came from. But anyway, Sarah Adams says, take nothing for granted, but stand tall, stand proud. George Washington quote here. I don't know if this is accurate, but maybe it is. Was he actually drinking a mug of coffee? I don't know. It says, the time is near at hand which must determine whether Americans are to be free men or slaves. And that's what we're battling here, folks. And look, without national sovereignty, there is no nation. So, I got my libertarian buddies that are like, they posted this long thing like, on this 4th of July, I know it's hard for a lot of you to feel proud of your country with ICE, immigration. It's like, yeah, they're called a bouncer. I've been a bartender at 1,000 different places. You need a bouncer at the nightclub door. Everyone needs to be of legal age, need to pay their cover charge, get their hand stamped. Oh my gosh, on this 4th of July, I know we want to celebrate, but it's just so miserable under Trump. It's like, because we put a bouncer at the door to check IDs. Are you kidding me? Every single lake in Riley makes me want to vomit. An illegal alien that should have never been here. You would screen that poison out before they were ever allowed to come in. People with known criminal records, known gang affiliations, known criminal activity. There are ways to filter out the worst of the worst before they get here. People that have been deported and come back and commit crimes. Every week I'm reading these migrant crime stories. And I don't want to hear that Americans commit crime too, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. Don't obfuscate. Don't deflect the point. The point is none of these crimes should have happened if these people would have been screened out in the first place. And you can't have people voting in your homeowners association if they're not homeowners in your association. Now, I know there's nothing less libertarian than a homeowners association, but it's just a proxy. It's a localized government. It's in some ways the most local government you can have. And if you don't like the way it's being ran, go ahead, jump on the board of directors, get voted in and steer the ship. You work on the budget next year. Figure out what we're going to do for special projects. So I don't know. I don't get the doom or gloom. But if we don't defend this country and make sure that the people that are coming here want to be a part of here, do they want to learn the language? English is the language of the land, so we can all communicate with each other. We don't need this Tower of Babel stuff where nobody even, you got people on the roads, vehicular homicide. They don't even know how to read the road signs. It matters. It all matters for cohesion. You don't need enclaves in Springfield, Ohio, Dearborn, Michigan, Minneapolis, Minnesota, parts of Texas, enclaves, groups that are coming in trying to infiltrate and take over cities and counties and states, trying to change the country. The country needs to have something cohesive. Oh, you're right, Nick. I take it your name is Nick Adams from the Nick Adams Show. No, look, I'll take your point. I have, and you can ask David and Deb and Kenneth and the other regulars in the chat right now. I have often apologized for the people who were hoodwinked and bamboozled by Barack Hussein Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the Democrat deep state divisive demonic party that's used these groups of people as political pawns, as tools. And I have apologized. I've said the number one thing you need to understand is you can never trust a Democrat. That's when I put the asterisk up and go, by the way, that's not an endorsement of the Republican Party. But the Democrats are the last person you ever want to listen to or trust. They have absolutely abused. And it's so funny coming from Barack Obama. This nation was built on colonization. of the United Kingdom, Great Britain. And that's wrong. And that's racist. And that's wrong. I told Michelle the other day, colonization is wrong. That's why I'm going to colonize every sovereign nation across the globe for 20 years to fundamentally transform the United States of America and every other sovereign nation. I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message. He's been colonizing sovereign nations, Canada, United States, all across Europe. Throw a dart in Europe at all of the countries. Look at the tomfoolery that him and Victoria Nuland were up to in Ukraine, ousting their leader, putting their puppet Zelensky in, and then pushing with the UN to the point where Russia strikes back. I mean, it has Obama's fingerprints all over it. So yes, this was a Joe Biden, Barack Obama cluster F. And I apologize on behalf of the Americans who never voted to open up our border, because that's insane. When you leave your car, you lock the door. When you enter your home, you lock your door. I was in Indianapolis for Game 7. They had a watch party, even though Game 7 was in Oklahoma City, the Thunder versus the Pacers. And my buddy Izzy and I, we were walking around the whole city. Every bar had at least 2 bouncers right there at the door. You couldn't just waltz in and sneak in. They were all 21 and over. And I was trying to get my buddy Izzy into somewhere. Let's go grab a bite to eat, and he'll have a Coca-Cola, and I'll maybe have a beverage. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get him in anywhere. And so I think the least we could expect at our nation's border is you check the IDs. Are you do you have gang face tattoos? Yeah, I'm good. No, I'm good. Run your criminal background check. Oh, you've abused children? Get the fuck out of here. I'll give you a 10-second running head start, and if I can catch you, I'm going to demolish you. Don't you dare ever come near our children again. You creep. By the way, because the recidivism rate for child abusers is like 95%. It's almost guaranteed. Oh, no, they need to be rehabbed. Oh, no, they're just minor attracted people. Wood chipper. No, there should be capital punishment for anyone that abuses a child. Fight me on that one. I think my policy positions are pretty fair. Don't mess around. Don't find out. So, yeah, it is a little complicated now that they've let so many people in, but that was their plan. Let 30 million people in, then try to just wave a magic wand and grant citizenship. We don't know how many people that are here want to be American. How many are just sending money back home? They're not learning the language. They're not assimilating. I've said this before. Immigration without assimilation is invasion. Immigration without assimilation is invasion. We don't want Sharia here. We don't want your narco gangs here. We don't want all the problems from the third world countries being dumped inside of America and go, it's a melting pot. Well, there's Statue of Liberty France gave us. It says tired, hungry, weak or something. Let everybody in. No, I'm not letting everybody in. A college has the right to bring in people that are not brain dead. Have some basic standards you got to pass. And if you want to be here, are you learning the language? Are you staying out of trouble? Are you not stealing federal funds that should be going to our people, to our infrastructure, to our debt? We have our own set of things that we need to take care of. And never, I reported in the Bronx for Real America's Voice last year, about a year ago. And the people there were furious. 86% Black and Dominican is the racial makeup there. So as I'm interviewing these random people at the Trump event, they are furious that illegal aliens are being dumped into New York, and then they're staying over there at that 5-star hotel, $500 a night. They're going, I take $100 to the bodega. I can't even get a bag of groceries. Everything's too expensive. Why am I not getting helped? Why are they prioritizing the illegal alien over me? So, yeah. Shame on Biden, shame on Obama, shame on the deep state, shame on the Democrats, all of them. And if we want to bring in the best and the brightest, like a college, and people are going to learn the language, stay out of trouble, not steal our money, earn some money, pay tax, like get on the worker program. Like, I get it. I'm fine with a limited number of that, a reasonable number of people that want to actively assimilate, not infiltrate, not invade, not dominate, not overthrow. These enclaves in Minnesota, Springfield, Dearborn, it's like there's no-go zones in Great Britain right now. Great Britain has lost their country. That's not happening here. And I'm very grateful that we're putting a bouncer at our front door. Now, I know it's a mess. I know but you compare the side-by-sides of the kids in cages with what Obama was doing and the new air-conditioned facilities that are being put together to transport and use them as staging grounds to send them back. And there's a CBP home app. It used to be called CBP One, Customs and Border Patrol. Now it's called CBP Home. Go on there, say, look, I'm in the country illegally. I don't want any problems. I want to do the right thing. What is it? All right, so you sign up. They'll pay for your flight back. Then if you want to get back in the program, you sign up, and then you might be able to come back in. That's all you can ask for, you know? Oh, Lewiston, Maine, you're from. And yeah, people want to make a better life for their families. That's cool, but that's the heartless way to say it is that's not my problem. My problem is the families of our team. We're running a sports analogy. We're the Cleveland Browns. Sorry, I picked a shitty one. But the people in our locker room are the people we need to worry about. Well, but those other players, they went undrafted. They just want a chance at a better career. That's great, but we only have 52 roster spots. What do you want from me? We'll sign them to your practice squad. If they're the best, fine, we'll have tryouts. Okay. Well, they shouldn't be sent out of this locker room. They were never invited into this locker room. Well, the previous coach did. The previous coach was fucking fired. The previous coach should be facing treason charges, to be continued on that. Yeah, but sorry, the previous coach lied to you. But we're a franchise that cares about our team winning a Super Bowl and building a dynasty. You haven't been invited into our locker room. Get out of our facility. Oh, that's so mean. No, it's kind of bullshit to expect that you can just squat inside somebody's facility if you weren't drafted by the team or signed as a free agent. So, you know, I'm just talking about putting a bouncer there and stabilizing this stuff. CBP Home takes care of all this stuff. They'll even fly you back to where you came from. Cool. And if you want to come back, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. So, yeah, I don't want anything inhumane. It's like I've said before. By the way, I'm enjoying this this conversation, Nick Adams. Maybe I should join your show sometime. Maybe you should jump on our show. I feel like we could talk about a lot of this stuff. I appreciate the way you're approaching with your comments. Yeah, so I am acknowledging the mess that we find ourselves in. But it's not our responsibility to go on and on apologizing for the previous head coach, general manager that got fucking fired for treason. It's like the person who was hired to run the Browns, they were getting kickbacks from the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were sending our playbook over to the Baltimore Ravens. They were fucking traitors. Yeah, I don't mince words when it gets to Barack Hussein Obama and Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, whatever. Like, these people were actively doing what they could to subvert the rule of law and add extra crime to this country, stealing our money, running up the debt, the Cloward and Piven strategy of and not overtaxing, overspending so that we collapse our economy. And I know that's what some of the big, beautiful bill is, but also we got 20 years of Obama to clean up after. We got to reprioritize how to lock in the infrastructure so our border never turns into the mess that it was again. We can never allow this to happen again. And by the way, every NFL stadium, they build it so that there's a big wall, a big, beautiful wall around their stadium. That's racist to have a wall around Cleveland Browns Stadium. No, it's not. You got an entrance at the north, the east, the south, and the west. And you have security. And they check your IDs. They check your ticket stub. They make sure you're not coming in with contraband. And then they let you in. That's all. We have a right to do that as a football team, as a nation. So anyway. Yeah, Deb, hey, pervs, leave those kids alone. Yeah, let's talk about Joe Biden and the fact that his daughter Ashley had to shower late at night because to avoid her father joining her for inappropriate showers. Yeah, that's gross. 81 million votes, my ass. Yeah, Lewiston, Maine. What I remember about Lewiston, Maine is when Fred Durst said, and Lewiston, Maine. some Limp Bizkit song. He's rattling off cities and Lewiston, Maine. Somalians completely ruined your hometown. Goodness. That's what they did. Somali. Well, that's Ilhan Omar, who allegedly married her brother and should be kicked out of this country if they can prove that. I think they proved that. If so, I don't know why she hasn't been locked up for treason. But I think the Somalis are Minneapolis. Springfield, Ohio was Haitians. It's just, you bring a little bit in and you assimilate and you work and you balance. You don't just dump 15,000 people into a town of 40,000. Imagine dumping 15,000 Michigan Wolverine fans outside of Columbus. Fuck you. Fuck that. Fuck off. Get out of here. No shared history, no commonality, no bonds that tie us together, no threads of community, shared experiences, shared values. You're a damn Wolverine fan. Get the hell out of here. I don't want you permanently changing the demographics of my city. Go back to wherever you came from. And I'm saying that to a Michigan Wolverine fan. It's not about Haiti. It's not about Somalia. It's not about Afghanistan. It's not about anywhere. It's about America. You're either on our team or you're not. You're in the Cleveland Browns locker room or you're not. We had to fire the last GM because he was helping the other teams beat us. Because we've had it a little too good for too long. Told Michelle the other day, I'm going to give him the old okey doke and, bring America down a few pegs. That's the Marxist way. That's how I was raised. Reverend Jeremiah Wright told me all about this. So, sorry that you listen to a dirty, deep state, divisive Democrat. You should never do that. That's why they have about a 19% approval rating, and they were ran out of town on a rail. That's not even to talk about what we're pretty sure, no, we're certain what they did in 2020. David says these people actually have to want to assimilate. Yeah, exactly. David, Canada's not even Canada anymore. Vancouver, it's like Bangladesh. Really, just Canada's not even Canada anymore. And that's part of their plan, to just blend everything so there's no borders, man. There's like no, it's like we're all the same, man. That way we can have a global government and just like one unelected leader rules over us all. No thanks, I'm good. Pass. Nuh-uh, pass. Just like I didn't want the World Health Organization dictating what everybody must do by edict. I don't want it for nations either. They have a right to kind of pick and choose who and what they want to be. Deb says every country should share in taking folks in legally and give them a start, not just the United States. Well, Switzerland has been overrun. Ireland has been overrun. Scotland's been overrun. England's been overrun. France has been overrun. Spain has been overrun. All of Europe. It's the Obama doctrine of colonization. This has been their deep state plan with Soros, the NGOs, Obama, Biden. This is what they want to do. They want to dump the Middle East. They want to dump Africa. They want to dump Central America. They want to dump South America. And there's plenty of people from China and from, really, it's any country, dump military-aged men to sit in there like Trojan horses almost. You're getting free food. You're getting free housing. You're getting free money by someone somewhere. That's why they went after Elon so hard, because he found their money laundering. Oh, fuck you for stealing our resources. That money's meant to make the Cleveland Browns franchise better. Why are you sending it to the San Francisco 49ers who are trying to beat us? Oh, they're not trying to beat us. They're just looking for a better life. You're trying to enact Sharia law, which is 100% completely incompatible with the United States Constitution and Bill of Rights. Trying to build enclaves with Sharia law to take over cities, municipalities, states, and the country. No thanks. We're not doing it. And we have a right for self-determination. You know what I'm trying to say. We have the right to determine the country we want to live in. But yeah, dumping military-aged men as potential sleeper cells, Manchurian candidates to, maybe activate. You get the go signal on your Obama phone, and it's like, hey, now it's time to pull off your Antifa riots, your Summer of Love 2020 riots, your ICE riots. This is all coordinated. Democrat deep state party. No, I'm good. You can take your military-aged men and go back to where you came from. The United States should not be burdened with everyone. Yes. Nick Adams, I agree. I just wish we could fix the problem a different way. I'm not a fan of police in the first place. Right. I mean, I'm not a big fan of bouncers either, but I've been a promoter. I've been a bartender. As a bartender, I want to know that the people inside the club have had their ID checked. They have a wristband. They have the hand stamp. It's like, all right, they've been checked. If I have to slow down and get IDs on everybody, like the point of doing it, like you can't have commerce unless you. I understand from a bartender perspective and as a promoter. I had great relationships. Mufasa. I can see Eric right now. Huge dude, huge black guy, thick dreads, looked like a lion. They call him Mufasa. He was our dude. He was awesome. I'm 6'6". I mean, he looked like a defensive end. I mean, he was a massive beast of a human. Sweetest guy you'll ever meet. Also, I mean, built like a brick shithouse, like one of those statues in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace. I mean, just like, just ripped. And that's who you want. It's the deterrence factor, because people start getting in and start clowning around. And if they think that there's nobody that's going to check them, they're going to start running amok. And sure enough, some of the promoters started bringing in some pretty lousy clientele. And right after I left that place got shot up. A few people got shot, and I was very glad to have been gone. But we need a presence to maintain law and order. So, I mean, if I sneak into Disneyland and they say, I need to see your pass or see your wristband, I go, I don't have it. Like, all right, well, we got to take you out. I don't want these people getting abused. I don't want their kneecap cracked. I don't want to break their ankle. I don't want to throw their shoulder out of socket. I don't want to rough them up and give them a rough ride and smash their face into a brick wall. I don't want to abuse anybody, but you got to go. Now, if you want to go back to the end of the line, wait like everybody else who's checking you got your purse and your show. All right, no, I don't have any firearms. I just am bringing my purse. There's nothing in here. If you do want to come back in, you can come back in. I don't think you should receive a lifetime ban for being tricked by the Democrats. And look, the Democrats are trying to get extra congressional seats. They're trying to manufacture and force every person to get signed up for ballots so that they can then grab the ballots, fill them out, and make sure they get processed and counted as totally legitimate ballots. See 2020. There's too much opportunity for fraud. So I'm not a huge cop fan, but like, look, in my HOA, we had problems that I didn't want to have to go. Imagine the criminal liability if I had to go over there like a cowboy and deal with every problem. No, you call your security patrol. And we hired a security patrol. And we fired and we hired again. And they worked with LAPD. And when people were acting a fool, putting all of our lives into jeopardy, we got them involved because we had to. So I'm not anti-cop. I'm anti-abuse. I'm anti-cop abuse. Your show doesn't exactly exist. Not exactly. Doesn't exactly exist. All right, hit me up. You know where to find me. Overburdening. Yeah, we're getting overburdened. David, leave them kids alone is right. Pink Floyd, The Wall. Hey, teacher. Hey, pedo. Leave them kids alone. I know if I'm going to do sports analogies, you're going to lose me. But look, I think I did several analogies. I talk about being a promoter and a bartender. Talk about sports. I talk about the sovereignty of a nation. There's many different angles to look at it as. Many different angles we can look upon this topic from. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, it's just common sense. And the Democrats haven't been using common sense for a long time. All right. Anyway, moving on. So here it is at the signing of our Declaration of Independence. Wait, so people can say whatever they want? Yeah. Oh, let's give them guns. LMAO, this country's going to be lit. Yeah, we're a lit country. Come on, does it get better than this meme? Here's George Washington. To anybody listening only, audio only on our podcast, you got to be getting the visuals for this. There's a picture of George Washington with a red hat that says "Make America." Because he made America. Here is George Washington on the icy tundra of the Potomac River, crossing, I believe this was on Christmas Eve, maybe. His advisor says, "But sir, a district court judge just ruled that we can't do this." Yeah, the district court judges are not in charge of this country. Thank you very much. And how can we thank you, General Washington? Well, you can put me on the dollar bill so that I might be stuffed into the thongs of strippers by my beloved infantry men for eternity. There you go. Here's a reminder from Will Ferrell. I love memes. The holiday you're celebrating only exists because people were armed. Good point. By the way, here's a reminder. If you're anti-gun, you don't get to celebrate Independence Day. You would have never fought back, pussy. This one here, these are blue coats. These are revolutionaries on the United States side because they were lobster back bastards on the other side. This comment says, just heard a British person call Oreos chocolate sandwich biscuits, and I finally understand why the Revolutionary War had to happen. What the F is a kilometer? Friendly reminder, absolutely nobody's going to watch that video of the fireworks you recorded on your phone. And remember, kids, don't play with fireworks. Let the adults who've been drinking all day set them off. My cat watching the fireworks while your bitch-ass dog hides under the bed. My cat actually got outside in Los Angeles right around Independence Day. And he ended up underneath a building, 2 buildings down, and terrified. We had the biggest explosions you could imagine, like professional grade fireworks displays. So yeah, they used to get scared. He's got some PTSD from it. Speaking of PTSD, that's your dog this week. It's showing like the dog having flashbacks of Vietnam. Not funny. Watch the video 1 by Metallica. Ron Swanson, watching people who supported blatant tyranny during COVID celebrating Independence Day like none of that happened. Happy Independence Day to our great nation. There you go. All right. So a lot of our stories, we're just sharing these. Pretty great. Here it is. Promises made, promises kept. Just now it's off the plate and we can keep working on the stuff. Just move on to the next thing. I'm happy. So Nayib Bukele posts a prison video of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Yeah, the man, like a bad rash. This guy and his story will not go away. Not sure why. So Nayib Bukele posts a prison video of this dude disputing illegal aliens lawsuit claiming mistreatment. So there was an unsubstantiated accusation, but then in the video he's seen Abrego Garcia is seen gardening, playing soccer, fishing, and enjoying other leisurely activities while imprisoned in his home country. The video appears at odds with Abrego Garcia's legal filings earlier this week, saying he was severely beaten, deprived of sleep, and psychologically tortured while detained, claiming he lost 30 pounds. By the way, whether it's Kilmar, Garcia, or me, I don't know. Losing 30 pounds wouldn't be the worst for most people. But yeah, I'm completely against torture. I would say maybe the only difference I would put in there, I think maybe Anthony Fauci. I could probably make an exception for Fauci, maybe a couple of high treason cases, crimes against humanity. But I'm almost completely against torture. And I know you should be completely against torture or else you whatever. But, after what Fauci did and what he lied about and how he was rewarded and how I had to bury my brother, the only young, healthy guy to die of COVID, it seems like. Nah, I'm anti-torture. But I'm telling you, my name is Inigo Montoya. Fauci, you took out my mom and my brother. So, I could probably make an exception for you after being found guilty by a jury of your peers, of course. But no, I'm against torture, and this guy isn't tortured. He's not losing weight, and he's not being abused. And it's like you were saying with your show there, Nick. You don't want, some of the treatment. You don't want really bad treatment. Like I want people in the nightclub that don't have the wristband. I want them escorted out. I don't want them roughed up. Don't break their nose. Don't break a rib. Don't break a wrist. Like, come on. Like we don't need to be mafia. Now, if you're in here abusing kids, you can fuck right off. That's maybe another example of where I'd be okay with torture. I think if you go to prison, you should just have to serve your time and you should be protected from being abused and tortured by the other inmates. But then again, if you're like the worst of the worst, I just don't. I have zero empathy for demons. I'd have zero empathy for demons. Maybe that's a character flaw of mine. But if you're going to harm a kid, you're going to unleash COVID on humanity and then lie about it, you can go straight to hell. Do not collect $200. So anyway, Abreu Garcia, there he is. Maryland man. No, he's not. He's an El Salvador guy. And he's not getting tortured, which is good. State Department spokeswoman. When did Tammy Bruce become a State Department spokesperson? Well, here she is talking about foreign aid, because I think we cracked the code and figured out what they've been up to.
We are not ending foreign aid. We are making it more nimble. We are operating at the speed of relevancy to making sure that the millions and billions of dollars that we spend on aid get to where it is meant to go. There is nothing to be proud of when 90%, according to Samantha Powers, is not even making it to the people to whom it was promised. These are promises. Donald Trump makes promises and he keeps them. Promises made, promises kept. We will be doing that also now with foreign aid, with the new structure of how this will be working. We are, of course, it is in our DNA. We exist in large part because of the nature of what America stands for as a beacon of hope for the future for the world. We've died on that principle. We live on that principle, and we are giving foreign aid on that principle, but it will be functional. It will be auditable. We will know where it's going, and we will see results. We are not ending foreign aid.
Yep. We said America is done being fleeced by traitors. Hashtag never again. Hashtag never forget. Here you go. Just a quick reminder.
I just want to tell you that America is the greatest place on earth.
And it's more than a feeling, so I can't play it. But there's Rocky, ships taking off, football, and the Patriot, and American flags, and music, and trucks, and awesomeness, and music, and sports, and dunking, and dominance.
That America is the greatest place on earth.
At the end of the day, you want a president that's just going to be a spokesman, a spokesperson, a cheerleader. They say that's what was so great about Reagan. It was got you pumped up, got you fired up, got you excited to be American. The global salesman, a pitchman. And everything out of Obama was just, America's a terrible place. A lot of sins. Don't spend your time looking through that windshield. Look through that rearview mirror. There's a lot of bad shit in that rearview mirror. By the way, look in your side mirror. It'll take you back as well. Don't worry about where you're going. Look at that bad stuff that happened to people that aren't you. And let's go take our punishment out on people that were not doing those bad things in the past. You know, some folks call it an okie doke. I call it social justice. Nah, I'm good. 12 years of Obama, Biden giving us bullshit about how much they hate the country. All right, here's a comparison. In 1776, pay a 3% tax on tea and paper? Screw that, revolution! Now, pay 40% of your income? Sure, that's totally fine. We've been abused, people. You're celebrating today. Oh, here's a good one for Nick, our libertarian buddy. You're celebrating today because regular citizens had military-grade weapons. Remember that. I want Canada to become great again. I want David to have military-grade weapons. I want our neighbors to the north to become sovereign again. Because look, Canada, same boat. You could just say the Canadians gave up their guns, and now their government puts them in jail for Facebook posts. The Brits gave up their guns, and now the government puts them in jail for Facebook posts.
Massive economic growth and lift up the hardworking citizens who make this country run. The factory workers, farmers, mechanics, waiters, waitresses, police officers, firefighters, coal miners. Coal is back. Beautiful. I said you can't use the word coal unless you precede it by saying clean, beautiful coal.
Everything is beautiful. My bill and coal.
We have officially made the Trump tax cuts permanent. That's the largest tax cut in the history of our country, added to substantial other cuts, which is you're going to see like a rocket ship. You know, we're setting all sorts of economic records right now.
Trump is the greatest showman on earth, and he's a spokesperson talking our country up like a CEO would do. Like you're going to have a CEO out there saying, you know, it's been great being in charge of this great corporation. But, you know, it's not a great corporation. It's actually a piece of shit corporation. You know, in fact, people say, look at what you built at this corporation. I say, you didn't build that. You didn't build that. You did not build that. You know, but maybe we could build back better and maybe right some of the wrongs of this terrible corporation that I'm the CEO of, talking shit about every day. I don't know why I haven't been fired by the shareholders. Maybe I was. Maybe we haven't had an honest voting tally in a lot of decades, honestly. How else could you keep Ross Perot and Bernie Sanders out? And that's clearly who the people wanted. But I'm going to run this country and come out here daily talking about how big a piece of shit my country is and my company. That's the difference. Trump's like, yeah, America is come on, like, go America. Obama, Biden, they're like, oh, this country's terrible. Shut up. You would not put up with a head coach of your football team doing that every day. Shut up. It's just, this is such a hoax that's been perpetrated on us to just degrade us, to get inside of our psyche and demoralize us. The Democrats are just poisonous with that ideology. Miserable, never happy about a damned thing.
And that's before this kicks in. After this kicks in, our country is going to be a rocket ship economically. And we've delivered no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. I mean, come on, these are big wins, right? By the way, I do believe, Nick Adams, I do believe if you're on X, you can chat from X. I think you can, right? Let's do a test. Nick Adams, go on X and try to comment. I believe X comments come through. Chat is on X for this show, so Brian will still pull up your posts. Yes, if you can. We'll go ahead and give that a try. Yay! Big day for America. So much winning. Well done. Fly the flag. It's a cool video. Fly the flag everywhere. No more being disgusted by our country. We're going to have pride in our country again. Although pride is a deadly sin. We're not supposed to have pride, but we're going to feel good about our country. How about that? Some folks were born, made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue. That's the song that's playing that I can't play for you. Reenactment, colorized.
Second most important principle of our nation.
Guns.
I don't hate that. What will posterity say of us if the second
right we enshrine in this document is simply guns?
We don't play.
Damn.
We don't play. Guns. We don't play.
Gentlemen, we cannot just have an amendment that says guns. But what about guns?
What about guns? Having them. Sir, where are you from exactly? America. Sorry, I had to mute it because they couldn't play that music. The music behind everybody's videos ruins my ability to play them. Real State of America reporting, the Trump administration just announced that ICE will no longer transfer illegals to California authorities to counter sanctuary policies that release them on light charges. Instead, they will be immediately deported. All right, they're cutting California out because California's cut themselves out. Leading report says President Trump says he wants no more property taxes across the United States. The comment here, don't do that. Don't give me hope. Yeah, property taxes are not okay. You either own something or you don't. Kenneth needs no tax on chips. I like my munchies. Oh, wait. You're banned for 7 days on X? Oh, Nick Adams, what are you up to? Were you dancing at the Jefferson Memorial? Did they ban you? Well, I think they did increase, Deb, Social Security benefits. They're not taxed anymore. Or at least 88% of them will no longer be taxed, up from 60%. I know. Let's take a look. David says, sorry, Deb, your state is a mess. California. Yes, it is. But David, your country's a mess. And America's a mess. Look, everything's a bit of a mess. And Deb says, look, doing my part to fix it. I'm doing my part to fix it. David's doing his part. Kenneth is doing his part. Nick is doing his part. Doing what we can. Happy birthday, America. I can't play Motley Crue, but imagine Motley Crue music playing to this. I believe this is Los Angeles, shooting out all these fireworks while doing a wheelie down the freeway. America. Our pronouns are USA. Heart, my heart. That's pretty wild. Reckless, but cool. Here's President Trump.
Americans before us did not shed their blood only so that we could surrender our country to Marxist lunatics on the eve of our 250th year.
We're not going to surrender our country to Marxist lunatics on the eve of our 250th year. That's a good line. Deb's saying, yeah, but not an increase. But look, if the taxes are not taken out, that is an increase. That's more take home. That would be an increase by subtraction of the taxes.
As President of the United States, I'm proclaiming here and now that America is never going to be communist in any way, shape, form. And that includes New York City.
That includes New York City. Going after that Zoran Mamdani. And other people are going after him too. I did actually have the idea of doing a weekly segment like Carolyn Levitt here does at the White House. Call it my Ma-ha Minute. Ha, 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 ha. In the past week, my Health and Human Services. I was thinking about doing that, about doing a Maha Minute. Once a week, I'll do a Bobby Kennedy skit. I'll just release it as a short or something. Or maybe for subscribers on Patreon. I don't know. I was thinking a Maha Minute would be pretty good because I'm really inspired by Carolyn Levitt and her MAGA Minute.
This was one of the hottest weeks in our nation's history, and I'm not talking
Speaking of hot.
temperature. Let's break it all down in this week's MAGA Minute. The jobs numbers for the month of June are in, and the United States added 147,000 jobs, exceeding market expectations for the fourth month in a row. Our unemployment rate fell to 4.1%, again defying expectations. The price of eggs has rapidly declined under President Trump, inspiring Waffle House to announce that it has removed its egg surcharge from the menu.
Yeah, but, good eggs are still too expensive. Pasture-raised eggs.
In a huge win for women who play.
Oh, thank God for this. So much winning. Thank you, President Trump, for fixing this women's sports issue. It's just society cannot exist if you're going to let dudes beat up on women.
Sports. The Department of Education secured an agreement with the University of Pennsylvania to remove men from women's sports, and it corrects the record in favor of sanity. President Trump continues to deliver trade deals. He announced a trade deal with Vietnam, which will give the U.S. total access to their markets for the first time ever. The president also...
Whoop.
This was one of the hottest weeks in our nation's history, and I'm not talking temperature. Let's break it all down in this week's MAGA Minute. The jobs numbers for the month of June are in, and the United States added 147,000 jobs, exceeding market expectations for the fourth month in a row. Our unemployment rate fell to 4.1%, again defying expectations. The price of eggs has rapidly declined under President Trump, inspiring Waffle House to announce that it has removed its egg surcharge from the menu. In a huge win for women who play sports, the Department of Education secured an agreement with the University of Pennsylvania to remove men from women's sports, and it corrects the record in favor of sanity. President Trump continues to deliver trade deals. He announced a trade deal with Vietnam, which will give the U.S. total access to their markets for the first time ever. The president also visited Alligator Alcatraz in Florida, reaffirming our commitment to law and order in our country. And he visited the great state of Iowa to kick off a series of celebrations across the country to celebrate next year's 250th birthday of the United States. And finally, Congress worked hard to deliver the one big beautiful bill to President Trump's desk. This bill means no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, and a big beautiful tax cut for everyone. It's on the way. And for those of you celebrating our nation's birthday, the cost of a 4th of July cookout for 10 people skyrocketed by more than 20% under Joe Biden, but that cost has dropped under President Trump. This 4th of July, we are celebrating not only the birth of our great nation, but the birth of a golden age of economic prosperity for you and your family, and the best is yet to come. We'll see you for next week's MAGA Minute. Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day, indeed. And Carolyn is a little firecracker, doing a great job. Yeah, she is. It's just the difference between competence. Biden was like hiring people just to check things off of a demographic checkbox. Karine Jean-Pierre was awful. Carolyn Levitt's great. Things moving in the right direction. The 250th celebration is going to be pretty great with the American, the Patriot Games, they're going to call it? And they've already put petition in to put Trump on Mount Rushmore. I wonder how quick they could do that. He's the best president of our lifetime, right? It's not even close. going through what he went through, surviving all that lawfare that meant to destroy him. God, imagine 4 more years of Kamala with Biden and Obama pulling the puppet strings. Good God, we couldn't have survived as a nation. We were on the brink, which is why it felt good to dedicate so much of me and who I am to this program, to the country, really. By the way, scrolling at the bottom there, those are the places. If anybody is not signed up on Patreon, we're at the New American Media. Thank you so much. Tip jar is Venmo and Cash App at BrianEngelman, and PayPal, fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com. That's scrolling at the bottom of your screen, in case anybody would like to participate in that. Thank you so much. Okay. Carolyn Levitt. This is super cool. Watch this. So AI is terrifying, right? I think that was one of the comments that our new viewer Nick was mentioning. But check this out. This is the best life evolution video of President Donald J. Trump, June 14, 1946. Watch this. How wild this is. It's fun to stay at the... Play the music. So there he is, military academy to 64, Trump organization after Wharton Business School, 70s, then the 80s, opening Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue, mid-80s, going into casinos, wrote The Art of the Deal in 1987. This is so cool. Financial hits, weathered storms, then became The Apprentice host, Republican presidential, 2015, elected 2016, key legislation to 20. See, the only problem I had with this video that's so cool is that they didn't put parentheses around lost 2020 election. He didn't lose that. We all know that. By the way, under duress, for countervailing views on health and elections, see what's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Go to cdc.gov, who.int, and cisa.gov/rumor control for countervailing views, because they will tell you, oh, 2020 was the only free and fair election in the history of elections. 81 million totally legitimate votes for Joe Biden. Wink, wink. My ass. But anyway, stayed committed. He was attacked for 4 years straight, survived a near miss in the assassination. Look at this. It's just morphing into all these moments. Then returned to office that's so cool. They tried to end my story, but all they did was write a new chapter in America's history. There's Dark MAGA. But I mean, this video is absolutely wild to watch. It is so well done. The best thing that's ever happened to America. Trump is our president. Reading the comments here. It's just so cool to watch this. Anyway, you get it. It's just a neat video. AOC says, freedom from kings, freedom from fascism, power to the people forever. Happy Independence Day. Tim Young says, Trump won the election, and it seems you can't accept that fact. He's no king. He was elected by a landslide. Here's Real America's Voice having a conversation with Bill O'Reilly about America's social civil war.
I want to step back for a second. We're just a couple of years from the 250th anniversary of the founding of this country. Your honest assessment of where you think this country is. I know a lot of people feel like, well, maybe it's King Joe now when we're back to the great British rule empire. But your thoughts on where we are at this moment in history?
King Joe.
Low point, no doubt. And the reason is multiple, but there are a couple.
Is this an old video? King Joe, and that we're at a low point. We're not in low point now. It says Independence Day. We're emerging from a low point. Or was this from last Independence Day?
A couple of themes that I think your audience will be interested in. So we're in the middle of a social civil war. And the war is between traditional Americans like me, and I think you guys too, who understand why the United States is an exceptional nation. all the billions of people that we have freed all over the world at staggering blood and treasure. And we did that. America did that. And we led the way and still do. And the opponents to the traditional Americans are the progressive left, who basically feel that America is not a noble country, that we have exploited minorities, that we are imperialists, capitalists, capitalism's terrible, exploiters, you name it. They don't like this country. Now, they're a minority. I put the number at about 20%.
Bill, I want to step back for a second. We're just a couple of years from the 250th anniversary of the founding of this country. Your honest assessment of where you think this country is. I know a lot of people feel like, well, maybe it's King Joe now when we're back to the great British rule empire, but your thoughts on where we are at this moment in history.
Okay.
Low point, no doubt.
Yeah, but we've emerged from that. Hey, check this out. Here's a Treaty of Paris painting depicting the end of the American Revolution. It remains unfinished due to the British representatives refusing to pose. 1783. Did you ever see this? I've never seen that. I've never watched that before. Okay. And now, as a part of my Maha Minute, here's President Trump discussing autism potentially being artificially induced.
America 250 will also host a brand new, first of its kind youth athletes. It's a competition known as the Patriot Games, and it features top high school athletes from all 50 states. It's going to be great. And this phenomenal patriotic sporting event will be nationally televised, and it'll be led by our great Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's really doing it.
Really?
He's great, and he's a little different, right? We needed somebody different. You know, autism. You go back, I guess, 18 years, 10,000, think of this, out of 10,000 people, okay? 10,000 people, and I'll go a little different way. Right now, out of 10,000 people, 18 people don't have, they're safe. 18 people. We have a statistic on autism that's the worst I've ever seen, and he's going to change it. He's going to change it. It used to be 20 years ago you just didn't have it, and now it's numbers that are unbelievable, where the numbers are so bad it's got to be artificially induced, and we're going to find out what it is and when. We're going to find it out as soon as possible.
Imagine that, getting to the bottom of it.
I mean, you think about it, the numbers have increased by 200-fold, and that's really something, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. That's a terrible situation. Like America 250 will also...
You know, if the medical industry is actually guilty of the things that we're starting to suspect they are guilty of, I mean, you want to talk about corporal punishment, you want to talk about hanging from the gallows or a firing squad or riding the lightning on an electric chair. If they've been abusing us and lying to us about it, it is absolutely time to hold these people accountable. So Vladimir Putin here is at an event.
Пожалуйста, не сердитесь, я понимаю, что мы могли бы и больше поговорить. Ну, так неловко заставлять себя ждать, там сейчас обидеться еще. Спасибо вам большое, удачи.
And everybody laughs and claps. He says, thank you very much.
Пожалуйста, не сердитесь, я понимаю, что...
He says, please don't be angry. So Putin abruptly ends this event saying Trump was calling and he could get offended if he just kept waiting. Make Men Great Again says, that's global respect. Trump commands attention, not apologies. World leaders listened because they had to. And Grok said, this is real. On July 3rd of 25, Putin left the Strong Ideas for a New Time forum. Change the aspect ratio. Putin left the Strong Ideas for a New Time forum in Moscow to take Trump's call, apologizing to the audience as shown. Confirmed by Reuters, Al Jazeera, and Kremlin statements. I did tell you about
I love
this.
Venn diagrams. I really love Venn diagrams.
The lawsuit
the
that Trump won,
right?
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
The real answer of Kamala was very crazy or dumb. Nobody knows what, but it was bad. So they actually replaced it. Think of this. They've never done that for me. They actually replaced it with another answer having nothing to do with what she said before. They took another thing that she said and they just lopped it in there. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. 60 Minutes, nobody's ever seen. And they wanted to make her look as good as possible, make her look better.
Because 60 Minutes is only 60 Minutes, they edited the interview just like they always do. But Trump.
Oh my God, Jimmy Kimmel is the worst. I loathe Jimmy Kimmel.
Who never misses an opportunity to A, whine, and B, abuse the legal system, claimed, based on no evidence, that 60 Minutes edited the interview deceptively.
So yeah, Jimmy, the deep state hitman Kimmel, came out bashing Trump, and guess what? Oh, it's not frivolous and dangerous, really?
It's a plainly frivolous lawsuit.
CBS and Paramount Global, our parent company, overnight announced the settlement of a lawsuit by...
Bring it. More of this. I am so sick of being lied to by the deep state.
President Trump. The president sued over a 60 Minutes interview with his opponent in the 2024 presidential election, then Vice President Kamala Harris. His lawyers claim the interview was edited, quote, deceptively.
Claimed?
Paramount and
Proved.
60 Minutes deny that claim. Paramount Global says it will pay $16 million to settle the lawsuit. Part of the money will cover the fees and costs for Trump's lawyers, and the rest will be donated to Trump's future presidential library.
And it's time to dance.
I love Venn diagrams.
We said Trump is stacking up lawsuit wins against the dirty, divisive deep state Democrats. That party needs to be splintered into 1,000 pieces and cast to the wind, said I in the comments. Of course, there's music here. Was that the Baywatch theme? What music was that? Anyway, that's a big-ass flag. It's just a nice day to celebrate the birthday party, you know? Gentry Geaver says President Trump is considering removing property taxes. So look, once you clear the way with the big, beautiful bill, you can go on to the next thing. And the next, and the next. But when you're hung up and you're handcuffed, when you're chained to inaction, it's hard to get movement. So President Trump considering removing property taxes, which is a huge move. Property taxes means you lease your home from the government forever. They can tax you based on your unrealized home value. And if you don't pay it, they can take your home away. Does that sound like home ownership? Nope. Home ownership is a huge part of the American dream, and property taxes is stealing it from many Americans. Amen. Ron Swanson here. Hey, are you free this weekend? Gazes into the distance. Sheds single tear. Bald eagle screeches. I'm always free, brother. Here's a nice. I thought this was Jackie Chan at first. It is not. But this is a great understanding of what it means to be a legal immigrant compared to an illegal alien invader.
Thank you, America. Thank you, American people. I'm a Korean immigrant that came to America in 1976 with my mom and dad. Thank you to my mom and dad bringing me to America. I started with a paper boy working at the restaurant and saved the money, put that money down payment for buy dry cleaner. I had a dry cleaner for 20 years. Then I sold the shopping plaza and I retired early 40s. Without being come to America, never made it this kind of dream come true. I want to say happy birthday to America, 249 years old. And I'm still learning English. I still have a thick accent, but it doesn't bother me.
I'm still learning English. I still have a thick accent, but it doesn't bother me.
This is a learning opportunity for all the immigrants. Thank you, America. Thank you, Americans. I love you all. I want to say,
I mean, we talked about the golden age, and I think that's Scott Adams sort of popularized that. And this is Jesse Kelly talking about what I was talking about earlier, the theater kids and the dramacrats.
The theory is that the Democrat Party over the years has been taken over by theater kids. And part of the theory is we stopped allowing bullying in school. And what happened was the theater kids who were always on the receiving end of said bullying, they ended up conquering everything, and now they run the Democrat Party. Kind of a ridiculous online theory, right? Yeah, this is Hank Johnson from today.
Hey, Trump, where you going with that gun in your hand?
Oh my God.
I'm going.
Chris is right. This is the guy at the party who pulls the guitar out. This is him. He just got done smoking pot. His hair's long, and everyone's like, wait, what?
Down the street and shoot down democracy.
Oh my God, is this cringe. Also, you might want to try to tune your guitar. And you might want to try to learn Hey Joe before recording. Who thought this was a good idea?
You know I want to be a king someday.
In case you're wondering, yes, that is the very same Hank Johnson from this infamous clip.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that.
That's same Hank Johnson.
We covered that. I didn't know that was the same clown. This dude is an absolute clown. He was worried that if they put stuff on the island, it would flip it over and capsize. I mean, I guess it's a question to ask, but I mean, it's not like serious. The guy's an absolute clown. He's got to tune his guitar and he needs to practice the song. He doesn't know what he's doing.
But back to the theater kids thing. Remember Francis Collins?
Joined together by this noble dream. Have you got that? So it's just all the good people, but the second line, part of this family, and the last line, we're joined together by this noble dream. Do that with me. This is a song for all the good people. Come on.
Oh no, there's a guitar.
They are. They're the theater kids.
Overcome. We will overcome. We will overcome someday.
I think the theory is solid. Anyway, stop. Quit. I'm crying. The theory is that the Democrat Party over the years has been taken over by theater kids. And part of the theory is we stopped allowing bullying in school. And what happened was the theater kids who were always on the receiving end of said bullying.
Deb saying she's in high school and community theater, and that's offensive. Yeah, the dude is less than novice. Nick got distracted. Want to say the UFC event, the White House gives gladiator vibes. What is the UFC event at the White House? Is that tonight? Hey, joke. I actually don't know Hey Joe, but our band used to cover it. I mean, just I mean, I don't know what I want to play. I didn't plan on doing this, but I'm just trying to show that, like, oh, okay, I could do All Along the Watchtower. Like, anyway. I'm just picking up a guitar, and it sounds better than what these guys are doing. Like, they've never played the guitar before. Oh, now I'm going to screw it up. Yeah, I'm screwing it up. Oh, I could do that. I could play, like, Immortality. We're just having a Strumfest 25. It's more fun if you watch that part of it, right? You see, like, I did not plan this. I'm just vacate is the word. Vengeance has no place so near to her. Cannot find comfort in this world. Artificial tears, vessel stab next up. Volunteer vulnerable, wisdom can't hear. The true and finds home, I wish to hold on. There's a trapdoor in the sun. Immortality. All right, I'm not going to play. The point is, I can pick up a guitar and play 100 times better than these people that had a lot of opportunity to prepare for it. I wasn't prepared to grab a guitar and play Blackbird by the Beatles or All Along the Watchtower, either by Dave Matthews or by Bob Dylan or by Jimi Hendrix. Depends on which version you like. But I don't even have the calluses on my fingers. Like, I don't play enough. And I still played better than those two clowns did. Hey, joke. Said, where you going with that guitar in your hand? Second verse, same as the first. A dream host. Hey, all right, I'll take it. So, yeah. I don't know. I just, like, how do you grab a guitar and think that that's going to be a good idea when you're out of tune? He didn't even tune the guitar. He doesn't even know how to play the song. It didn't sound remotely like, hey, Joe. And so, like, I could do this one. Sorry, I didn't really plan on doing this, and I'm not going to keep going. But you got me thinking about it. So my band, we used to do, I would do a song by myself. What the heck was it? So do you know what this song is? In the comments, tell me what this song is. But we would play this song, And then I would perform this solo, and the band would go get a drink or use the restroom. Then the band would come back and play a song without me while I'd get a drink and use the restroom, and we'd keep it going. Anyone know what that is? I'm going to stop. I'm not going to sing. Type it in the comments. Thank you, Jesse Kelly, for this clip. These people are insane. They are the theater kids. Kenneth plays the turntable. I play the male organ and the tromboner. I play the skin flute. Those are the 3 music jokes that I know. No one guessing the song? Don't make me play any more of it. Anyway, thank you, Jesse Kelly. That was so cringe. I appreciate hearing that. Danielle D'Souza Gill. Where's it at? There we go. Do I have to? Here, let me play the chorus. See if you guys can pick it up. Must be your skin, I'm sinking in. Must be for real, 'cause now I can feel. Now I feel like playing music today. Maybe I'll go play the drums. I don't know. Anyway, guess the song. You know the song. Danielle D'Souza Gill says Arnold Schwarzenegger just delivered a July 4th speech and told illegal immigrants breaking our laws and whining is weakness. He's right. Following the law is strength. Entitlement is not the American way. We need immigrants like Arnold who love this country, not ones who try to change it. Did you catch this? I was telling this story the other day. Carnival Cruise Lines. Carnival got tired of being called the Section 8 of the sea. Carnival got tired of being called the Section 8 of the sea. So they have new rules. Stricter drug enforcement, a youth curfew of guests 17 and under. You can't. Okay, there's a viral Where Them Fans At line dance. So you can't do handheld non-battery fans. Bluetooth speakers have been banned. Drink package is being enforced, 15 drink daily maximum. Reduced music genre options. Hip hop and rap appear to be quietly removed from many ship playlists. And the DJs are also reportedly declining guest requests now. So Angela Wilson here is posting this. Are Carnival's new rules restrictive or racist? Some folks say it's the latter, and they're canceling their reservations expeditiously. Have you taken a cruise? Deb, what are you... Kenneth knows this one from the Simpsons. Homer goes, I gave my love a chicken. It had no bone. That's the closest I can do there. And that's the closest I can do. I can give you, I gave my love a turkey. It was chicken, right? Turkey, and it had no bone. I think it was chicken. So have you been on a cruise ship? Have you been on Carnival? Good experiences, bad experiences. Someone commented the lost city of Atlanta. Okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene here is saying, I'm introducing a bill that prohibits the injection. By the way, the song was Glycerine by Bush. Nobody in the comments. Glycerine by Bush. And then the band would do Hey Joe, and then we'd regroup after that. Marjorie Taylor Greene says, I'm introducing a bill prohibiting the injection, release, or dispersion of chemicals or substances into the atmosphere for the express purpose of altering weather, temperature, climate, or sunlight intensity. It will be a felony offense. I've been researching weather modification and working with the Legislative Council for months writing this bill. It will be similar to Florida's Senate Bill 56. We must end the dangerous and deadly practice of weather modification and geoengineering. So, do you agree or disagree about banning? Yes. Listerine. Don't brush your teeth too long. Listerine. Should we ban weather modification? Agree or disagree? I'm sorry, I have to say it as a statement. I agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene in the fact that we should ban weather modification. Agree or disagree? I'll agree. I'm very sick of it. Seeing that stuff being sprayed all the time. Andy No says, I hope people don't forget this. Democrats in January of 2022. Whoa, where'd it go? Democrats, 60% wanted to fine unvaccinated people. They wanted to lock unvaccinated people at home. 45% wanted to send unvaccinated to quarantine camps. 30% wanted to take children from unvaccinated parents. 50% wanted to fine and imprison critics of the vaccine. Andy No says, I hope people don't forget this. Actually says, don't forgot this. Whoops. So we say, never vote Democrat ever again. That's who these people are. Here's Ben Berkwam, who we've run into at the Washington, D.C. gulag, where the J6 political prisoners were held. Ran into him in the streets of Chicago. Ran into him several different places. He's out here with Real America's Voice.
The media doesn't know what to do because they see the success that President Trump is having. They see the border closed. They know most of America, the large majority of America, wanted a secure border. And yet they get so confused. This is MSNBC recently, okay? Talking about the ICE arrest, and they're trying to go after ICE for a very bizarre thing here. Take a listen to this.
Despite President Trump repeatedly vowing to focus on deporting undocumented immigrants convicted of violent crimes, new data exclusively obtained by NBC News suggests that the administration is falling short of that goal. Internal data from ICE suggests that the Trump administration has detained only 6% of the undocumented immigrants known to ICE to have been convicted of homicide, and only 11% of those who have been convicted of sexual assault.
So I have to actually laugh because whatever the numbers are, I probably don't even believe their numbers. They don't want us going after ICE, but then they're trying to say the negative part is we haven't arrested enough of the murderers and sex offenders. They don't know what to do, Ben.
Yeah, that's the point, MSNBC. We haven't arrested nearly enough of them. 6% and 11% of some of the worst people on the planet that are living in our country, that have no right to be in our country, that are victimizing our communities. And these scumbag liberals are out there marching in our streets, again, flying their foreign flags, burning our flag, spitting on our country's face. And we're supposed to sit back and take it. And while MSNBC and CNN and New York Times and all of these worthless, pathetic media outlets are treading water for these cartel scumbags and terrorists.
Treading water? He meant to say carrying water.
That's what's happening in our country. Yeah, so MSNBC, yeah, we haven't caught enough of the bad guys because of you. You did this. Yeah. You helped do this. It's absolutely disgusting.
The media doesn't know what to do.
Yep. The success is something they are having a problem with. And it looks like we got agreement from Deb and Kenneth and David. Get rid of geoengineering. I'm all right with that. I'm very all right with that. Yeah, I should play this.
I gave my love a cherry that had no stone.
Had no stone.
I gave my love a chicken.
Yes, see, I gave my love a chicken.
That had no bones.
There you go. See, I gave my love a chicken. It had no bone.
I gave my love a story.
He's measuring, soaking this up. Okay, he's over it. Yep.
Sorry. Hit songs of night.
There you go. At the risk of copyright infringement, I played a moment of that for you. All right. Where are we at? All right, I'll go back here. James Dunn here is saying Trump's big beautiful bill sets aside $1.9 billion for churches and nonprofits to promote fatherhood, marriage, and family. This is how you fix America, not with welfare, but with fathers, faith, and family. I don't know if this is true. Let me ask Grok. Did the big beautiful bill set aside $1.9 billion for fathers and family? I don't know if I asked the question right. No evidence. No. BBB means big, beautiful bill. None confirm a $1.9 billion earmark for fathers specifically. Okay. I'm going to put in the comments, not finding confirmation of this. Can someone post the text of the legislation that allegedly confirms this assertion? Okay. Maybe did BBB give $1.9 billion to churches? Let's find out. I gave my love a chicken, it had no bone. There we go. No definitive evidence saying it gave 1.9 to churches for promoting fatherhood. Housing, healthcare, childcare, family support, $9 billion. I don't know. There's so much on this bill. It's hard to fully understand it, but can't confirm it. So let's not repeat it yet. All right. This is the news story over the weekend that I wanted to share with you. Here's a helicopter crew rescuing a woman who's trapped during floods. She's up in the tree this high. If you missed these floods in Texas, I mean, it's eerily reminiscent of how Hurricane Helene was devastating Jimmy Rock, North Carolina, and what was this lady out of the tree, truly doing God's work. Thank you for a FEMA. It's not going to steal FEMA money from illegal alien invaders who use a lot of trees. And yeah, plenty of stories of naked bodies on the roofs of trees. These flash floods are no joke. Absolutely terrifying. A young girl found alive 12 miles downstream after devastating Texas Hill Country flood. Yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Let's type in Texas flood. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Since we're talking about guitar players. All right, where is... Do you know Stevie Ray Vaughan, people? I know I'm not supposed to, like... But if you don't know Stevie Ray Vaughan, you can't get to Stevie. Well, it's flooding down in Texas. All the telephone lines are down. Well, it's flooding down in Texas. I'm playing the guitar. Where's the... Oh, he's singing here? Here you go. Yeah, watch yourself some Stevie Ray Vaughan, please. Oh, now I think that's what I'm going to do. I got some tasks to take care of. Maybe I'm going to blast some Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Well, it's flooding down in Texas.
Oh, such a good song. Oh, the telephone lines are down. Go check out Stevie Ray Vaughan. Anyway, rescue teams continue search efforts in Guadalupe River flooding in the heart down to this river from the back of the future is 20 feet. You're flooding impacts the Thurgood, Caldwell, Gonzales, and Guadalupe due to an open Guadalupe River. These places need to be studied, and they need to build some infrastructure, because if it happened once, it'll happen again. And that's what I hope we're learning from. I don't know if we are. But it would be nice to see some infrastructure projects.
Holy shit, this is crazy.
That anticipate and have like a runoff.
Wow.
Pump it into the irrigation system, into the wastewater. Impacted after protocols on the Ohio River when it floods that water and put into a place to filter it. And these videos are terrifying.
Get me the hell out of here! Look at that little piece of tree. It's not raining.
Oh, man. That's a fence post turtle right there. A lot of unaccounted for people. 20 girls at Camp Mystic, a summer camp near the river, still unaccounted for. Man, look at that. They're saying the river rose 20 feet in 90 minutes. Kerrville, the river swelled from 7 feet to 29. Very short time. I mean, there could be still areas that can take some of this water. And it could be infrastructure project, but like, seems like a good idea. When you identify that it could happen, let's keep looking at opportunity to redesign and bolster some of these areas. And was this natural? Was it natural flooding, or was it something else? Once again, weather manipulation.
Are you taking her to the
It's just crazy. Prayers to all the people impacted. Let's get some help down there ASAP. Prioritize all Americans. Helicopter rescues, Texas National Guard, state and local authorities.
Again, this is Tommy Porter, Texas.
Terrifying to get caught up in this. I mean, just if you happen to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Melania Trump, my heart goes out to the parents in Texas during this difficult time. I'm holding you in my thoughts and sending prayers for strength, comfort. And
This is what I think about.
I don't know why this is part of the data dump, but here's Thomas Massey telling us what he thinks about gun control.
Gun control. This is what I think about gun control.
Disclosed TV says CIA admits a psychological warfare agent came into contact with Lee Harvey Oswald before JFK's assassination. PSYOP CIA agent came across Oswald before the assassination. Okay, curious what that means. George Joannides, specializing in psychological warfare, contacted Oswald before Kennedy's assassination. This admission undermines decades of misinformation about Joannides' role. 63 memo revealed he operated under the alias Howard Gebler and was involved with the Cuban Student Directorate, publicizing Oswald's pro-Castro views. Critics believe this indicates a cover-up, as Joannides deceived various investigative committees about his ties to Oswald. While some experts suspect rogue CIA elements may have been involved in the assassination, opinions vary on Oswald's role. Representative Anna Paulina Luna stated, Joannides was 1,000% involved in a CIA cover-up. CIA admits shadowy officer monitored Oswald before the JFK assassination, new records reveal. President Trump, according to Insider Paper, said that he had signed 12 trade letters to be sent out next week ahead of an impending deadline for tariffs to take effect. That's good. Toria Brooks says, BlackRock recently decided to abandon its search for investors for a fund set up to rebuild Ukraine, citing low interest. So who owns BlackRock? Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, Temasek, Bank of America, Capital Research Global Investors, Morgan Stanley, this according to this post from Toria Brooke. Robert Capito, President Director, owns some. UBS, Fidelity, Ameriprise, Nuveen, Invesco, Franklin Templeton, Harris, all sorts of. Yeah, I'm good on BlackRock. No thanks. So in case you missed it, Venezuela signed 3 trade agreements with China, including one with the China Development Bank, including key investments boosting sectors like agriculture, agribusiness, and fishing, the development of hydrocarbon engine, oil, gas, petrochemicals, and refining, and modernization of the country's infrastructure, electrical system, transportation, and technology. So that's Venezuela teaming up with China. Agreement with a Chinese company to promote Venezuelan artificial intelligence in partnership with Beijing. Huh. Venezuela, isn't that where they ran their person out of town? Not Bukele, it was Bolsonaro, right? Let me ask Grok. Bolsonaro. Is that Venezuela? Am I thinking of it right? Oh, no, Brazil. Yeah, I knew that wasn't right. Okay. So they're partnering up. Something worth knowing. And this is a good point about political correctness, what people think.
People think political correctness is, let's not be mean to people, let's not offend minorities, let's not make offensive jokes, blah, blah, blah. Never had anything to do with that. Political correctness was invented in the Soviet Union by communists so that they could say to critics of the communist regime, well, comrade, what you're saying may be factually correct, but it's politically incorrect, and therefore you should shut up. In other words, it's
and that's what we suffered. We endured under Obama Biden. Oh, we suffered greatly.
Inconvenient to the party line of the day. And that's how political correctness is used always. It's about preventing you from expressing a dissenting opinion. People think...
And that's what they did with COVID, too. This sums up the Obama doctrine perfectly. This also sums up the mind virus that stifled speech during Fauci's pandemic. I'm calling that Fauci's pandemic. Jessica Tish, NYPD PC, says there were 0 shootings or murders in New York City on July 4th. The last time in recorded history that happened was never. Let me ask Grok. How many times did NYC report 0 shootings on July 4th? No shootings, no murders. First time in recorded history, according to Grok. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tish, multiple reports corroborate this, citing it as a historic first. No prior instances of a shooting-free July 4th recorded since the Compstat era began 30 years ago. This occurred exactly once. I wonder how much of that is due to President Trump and ICE going and locking down. Oh, man, we got absolutely steamrolled with COVID. 100%. Oh, and Deb, thank you. Deb, tip jar done. That Animal House clip was the best. I gave my love a chicken. It had no bone. Thank you, Deb. Appreciate you.
So
MSNBC panelists look devastated about Trump's one big beautiful bill.
now you see the speaker announcing the fact.
14. The motion is adopted.
USA.
We see a lot of backslapping here from Republicans because, again, this is a victory lap.
And the
for
final
them.
count was 218 to 214 with only 2 Republican defections.
That's exactly right.
Slate pop up. That's because the vote is done. Final numbers were 218 to 214. The big, beautiful bill, as the president likes to call it, has passed.
They didn't get their way. First time in like 16
So
years.
now you see the speaker announcing the fact.
14.
Aw, boo-hoo to MSNBC. Here's a message for President Trump.
This message is for you, Donald Trump. Hey, I'm so proud of you, Unc. You going hard, man. Keep going hard for the American people. We appreciate what you're doing. Everybody know they're giving you a rough time, but hey, you keep fighting for us, and we appreciate that, man. This is the first time that I ever really paid attention to what's going on in the White House, and I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. I never thought that the president actually could make stuff happen. I thought it was people around him that had to make the stuff happen, but I see the president can make stuff happen, and I see why they didn't want you to be the president, because you speak for the American people, because you show leadership. You show leadership through action. You don't bow down to nobody. You let people know why America is great. And that's how it's supposed to be. They said the tariffs wasn't going to work. Guess what? It's working. You're doing everything, and it's working. And they're mad about it. So keep up the great work. Hey, I love you, Unc, man. Look, I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
For us. All right, Unc.
Anyway, people are actually happy to have a CEO running America. Oh, and then I'll end on this super cool thing. Guy diving through a fireworks show. Look at how cool this is. That is. I don't know how safe that is. Pretty cool. I feel like they gotta put this into a video game now. Guy diving. That's awesome. And that's what I had to share with you today on our episode. We laughed, we cried, we played a little guitar. But yeah, be careful out there with flooding and whatnot. And try to enjoy your great weekend. Be accomplished. Go get some sun. Get some fresh air. And have a great time, okay? Thank you to everybody. I try to entertain. That's what I do. No, I like having a good time. Deb saying she saw a TikTok clip of me on January 6th in DC on the street reporting. I'm not even on TikTok. How did you do that? Really? Weird. I'm typing in. I can't find my video. I typed in. Let's see. It doesn't have it saved here. Interesting. Where is that video? Ah, here we go. On January 6th, 2021, the New American Media filmed a series of interviews with attendees of the Save America rally featuring President Donald J. Trump. In the months surrounding the 2020 election, the New American Media social media accounts and contributors were banned and content was erased without warning, explanation, or ability to appeal the decision. Accordingly, our January 6th interviews were never released until now. Under duress, to avoid the possibility of any further censorship, we refer the viewer to cisa.gov/rumor control for countervailing views.
Brian Engelman here with the New American Media because the old American media has failed you. We cover events, we show up because we just want to talk to the people and find out what's going on. You can watch Fox News, you can watch MSNBC, and they'll tell you what they think is going on. But I just want to talk to the people in real life. I want to see it in real life, and we want to show you what's going on. Where'd you come from? What brought you out today?
By Denver, Colorado.
Excellent. And for what reason did you make the trip?
Trump said he'd like to have his supporters here. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do. He just said he wanted the support, so we're here.
How's it going? I'm JC. I'm from New York. I came out here 4 hours and a half away because I will not allow them to steal the election. It's not even about Trump or Biden anymore. It's about the American people. We need to stand up. This is all we got. This is it. The media is censoring everything. You can't post anything that is pro-Trump because it'll censor you, but you can post all the pro-Biden stuff and you won't have any issues.
Chris Salo, I live in Utica, New York, and what brought me here today was to support my president, to stop the steal I feel that this country, the Democrats have gone so far left to blatantly steal an election, presidential, to happen in America. This happened this happens in the Soviet Union. Putin's elected for 37 years now. Okay, but come on, this is crazy. Insurrection Act. He needs to use the Insurrection Act, take over all the media, lock them down, send them all to Gitmo, and pick up all the generals and all the Kirk Comey and all those people who started this false bull crap back when he first got into office, before he even got in office. Who spies on the President of the United States? Who? And gets away with it. Are you kidding me? That's insanity. Pure insanity. Trump, Insurrection Act, Insurrection Act, Insurrection Act.
All right. Well, I was going to say, what's your message to President Trump? But I think I just heard it.
Act, martial law.
My name's Mike Jones from Elizabeth, New Jersey. And I'm out here feeling that the election was not a fair election. And I'm supporting other people who have a similar mindset. I just think the numbers don't work for me. If I felt that this had been a fair election, I wouldn't like it, but I accept it with no problem. I've never come to a protest, a political protest.
Right.
But this can't happen in a democracy. This is the freest country in the history of the world, and I see that slipping away.
And if it does, where else are people going to turn to?
Exactly. Alex de Tocqueville. When America ceases to be great, the world will no longer be great.
I'm out here fighting for President Trump, all of our military, and our great United States. That's why I'm here from Ohio. And God bless us all.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Maybe.
From South Carolina. Oh, hold on 1 second. I guess your hands are full, so I'll do both.
My name is Dave. I came here from South Carolina. I came out over concerns about our elections, a concern about the direction of our country. There's nothing more important than election integrity and the free press and a fair and honest press. That's very important. And so I'm out here today to show support for everything that President Trump has done for the country, and to show a little bit of a protest against the way some of the elections have went and some of the media coverage has went. And I'm hoping for a better direction for our country in the future.
What's your name? Where'd you come from? And what brought you out today?
I'm Paul Stearns, and I'm here to support President Trump. Well, hey, I gotta go.
Oh, okay. Oh, sure thing. BrianEngelman here with the New American Media.
Nice
what
to
is
meet
your...
you, Brian.
Thank
Dennis
you so much.
From Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia. Actually, not D.C., but right here in the nation's suburbs.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I missed the name?
Dennis.
Dennis. All right, Dennis. What brought you here to this event today?
You know, I've been to a lot of Trump rallies, and this is the last time I'll ever see Donald Trump. But actually, I decided to attend the entire week from the 5th to the 7th because I actually lost a lot of good Republicans that were hardworking lose in unfair, rigged local elections. This is no longer about the president to me. It's personal. And these people are my friends. They're at my church. They're hardworking American Republicans, and they've been outed by the media, by criticism and stereotyping of Trump supporters. And I think it's really unfair that hardworking people lose their job just because they support Donald Trump.
And so what is your message to the social media, the information dissemination services across America in 2021? Our Facebook page was deleted without cause, without explanation. On election night, I was silenced. Then they deleted our page. And it's like, if we can't even talk to each other, it starts to get dark. What do we do?
That is a great question, Brian, from the American media. And the answer to that problem lies in the solution. It seems that Twitter used to back Donald Trump. In fact, I love Twitter so much that the Washington Post had less information about what the government did in the last 3 years than Twitter. Their owner sold us out recently. Trump was pressured by Facebook and the political social media giants that his message can't be used as a fact check.
My name's Paige. We're Florida. Right Daytona in Orlando. We came out as patriots. We want election fraud to stop. We want to stop the deal. And we want to be free. We don't want our rights anyway. You know, and people that are coming out, they're not Republicans. He's not just I call them. People are just, they're just right, left, or in the middle. They're not coming out because they're white, because they want to be a real election fair. Now, I want to win, of course, but I want to be fair.
My name is Marcus Aurelius. I'm raised on a little farm in Colorado on the Eastern Plains, but in the mountains where it's all beautiful, and grew up in a Democrat family because it makes sense on a farm in that time, in that era. I'm here for this. So I'm just an ignorant American here to try and understand something, to gain some wisdom. I know nothing, and I'm here to see what it's about, what's going on. I need to know for myself. I gave, due to family reasons, I gave no shit about politics until about 3 years ago when it started affecting me.
It affected you in which way?
Well, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I've been a small business owner my whole life. I really started to prosper in the last 4 years, and to actually have a say in it, to have some clout in it, for it to matter to you when you own something like that.
Some skin in the game.
This skin in the game, it matters.
My name's Ashley. I'm from Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah. Just out here standing up for our country. I do a lot of stuff in Portland, obviously, with the craziness going on there.
Portland's an interesting place, isn't it?
It is very interesting.
But the trek across the country to D.C., why did you do such a drastic thing?
This is actually my second time out here in the last couple months. I really believe that we, the people, need to stand up for what's going on. I mean, it's been proven time and time again that there was fraudulent activity in this election. And if we let this go, it's setting a precedent for what our country is going to turn into.
Well, my name is Michael D'Antonio, and I'm from South Carolina, the upstate. And we're here because we love Donald J. Trump.
That's right.
He's the best president we've ever had. And I'm so proud to have him as my president. And we need election integrity. We need it. And he's helped my life and everyone's life more than they know. And we need more people like him. And it's gonna 4 more years. It's gonna be good.
What do you hope happens? What do you expect happens?
Well, I don't want them to put Biden in at all. I think they need to postpone and bring it to Supreme Court.
There's been overwhelming evidence. There's been overwhelming evidence, and it's shocking that the Supreme Court has turned a blind eye to it, and we're pissed. We the people are pissed. And it could not be more clear that Donald Trump has won. There's never been more energy for any president ever. He's done more for this country than any president, and we stand with him today. He's fought for us, so we're just happy to be out and fight for him as well.
My name is Hallie, and I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado. And I'm here because I've watched my state change over Democratic politics, and I'm seeing it happen all throughout the United States. It's been happening for a while, and all of a sudden it was kind of like the rug just ripped out from under us. I've watched every election during my lifetime, and I've never seen a fiasco like one that happened on November 11th or November 3rd. I believe that people out here believe there's bigger things going on. We're hoping for some things to be declassified. We're hoping, that this gets changed. We're hoping that Pence has some pride in this country and contests this election. I believe there are going to be other people that are going to contest the electors. So we're here. We're here hoping, praying, and holding the line.
Michael Zatelli, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm also a veteran. I'm here to stop the steal because, election rigging has been happening for a long time, but it's never been this obvious.
Right.
When President Trump came to Pittsburgh, there was 30 to 100,000 people at his rallies, and I went to the one in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that same week when Joe Biden came in, there was 8 people. Not even enough to fill like a half school, like those mini school buses. What I think will happen is more of the same, where Congress is going to do whatever they're paid to do because they're paid from the highest bidder. A lot of them are on the Chinese payroll, they are. Mitch McConnell's wife, actually, she has all these ties to the CCP. And so what's going to happen is the more they rig elections and lie to us, the more people are going to stop following the laws because the government's breaking its social contract with the people. So when 300 million people just stop following the law, like we've been this whole time, the government can't do anything but fall apart. Everything will fall apart. We don't want that to happen. We want it to stick together based on biblical principles. You don't lie, you don't steal, you don't bear false witness against your neighbor, but they're lying to us, stealing from us, and bearing false witness against us every day. So they need to go to jail. They need to go to the funny house, and they need to be, they need to be held accountable. But they're above the law.
My name's Martin Dreisbach. I'm from South Carolina.
Like this. That's good. Okay.
From South Carolina, and we're just here to support Donald Trump and stopping the steal. I served 15 years in the military, and I think it's really sad you know, that we can't have a fair and honest election, or one that, you know, people can have faith in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't vote, if you don't get out here and pick a side, you really can't complain about, you know, the way things go in the future.
Brian Engelman here with the New American Media. Thank you for taking a minute to join us today. What is your name? Where are you from? And what brought you today?
My name's Matt. I'm from Pittsburgh. No, what brought me out here is just the amount of corruption and everything going on in the world, and it's only going further down. And I think the more people that stand up and make a movement and speak out, the less likely shit's going to go bad, you know?
And you fear that. You're concerned about this.
And, like, I'm not saying it's not bad now, because it is, but until bodies start stacking, that's when shit gets bad.
Maggie Kelty from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Go Browns.
Go.
Ah!
Married to a Browns fan.
Oh, you're a smart lady. You must have a wonderful
I'm
man.
wearing Cleveland Brown pajamas, but I'm telling everybody that.
Fair enough. But what brought you today?
I love my country. I love my country. And I've realized that we have generations that don't know civics, don't know the Constitution, and really blindly follow the media. Otherwise, decent Americans are losing their country. They're out of fear. We're being programmed like the Chinese, who are suffering. The Chinese Communist Party, the billions of suffering people there. So I'm here to say we're not morons, and we're not blindly following Trump. He's just a bull at China shop. He said, wake up the establishment, take back your country.
My name is Greg Sesselman, and I drove down here from Muskegon, Michigan with some friends from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm here to be with all these patriots. I want President Trump to be our president with every soul and atom in my whole body. But it pales. My desire for him to be president pales in my desire for the constitutions of the United States to be followed. The U.S. Constitution and the state constitutions. If they followed their laws, we wouldn't be here today. All of us would be home. But they cheated and they broke laws. Governors and secretaries of states broke the law where the legislatures are supposed to set all the voting rules, and they broke the laws, and we're standing around watching football games. It's disgusting. And that everybody in America, not just Republicans or independents or libertarians, everybody in America should be absolutely disgusted with this. Because by true votes, Trump is the most popular president that's ever been elected by over 6 million votes over Obama himself. And they say that this guy got more than that. He couldn't fill 6 circles both times he came out in the public. This is a disgusting travesty is what it is. And I'm sorry that this is happening to America. I'm glad I got to live in a free state, at least for a while. And I cry for my children and my grandchildren. God love America just a little longer.
Bill Powers, and I'm from Ohio.
Okay.
And I come here today to support our president. And I believe that the Supreme Court is not doing the right thing. I think they're trying to lead us into anarchy, which can be a bad thing. But I just can't understand why, if they can find one cheating vote, how much cheating is enough? They wouldn't cheat one just to be there. They would cheat to win. And that's what they're doing. And how can they let that go? I mean, if you can prove, I thought the vote was supposed to be sacred. It's not sacred, it's mail-in.
My name's Alan Norton. I'm from Robesonia, Pennsylvania, and hopefully we're here to stop the steal. Yeah, I hope we can make it out of it. This needs to happen. I hope there's 10 million people here today. I hope. I don't know if it'll happen, but
we'll see.
It needs to happen.
Well, what would you say, finally, our final question, what would you say to President Trump directly if he could watch us?
Keep going. Listen to Alex Jones. Whether, if people like him or not, he's been on target.
Because I feel that the elections were stolen, and I hope Trump is going to be another 4 years president and is going to clean up the corruption over here. So we're going to have freedom for the rest.
And where did you come from?
New York.
From New York. What would you say to President Trump directly?
He should stay in the White House for another 4 years and take care of all the corruption. Drain the swamp.
What message do you have for the president?
Don't concede.
You think there's still a chance?
Oh, big time.
Is it happening today?
Yes.
We're going to find out.
Okay.
So what would you say to him directly?
Well, for one, I love you. You're doing a great job. Keep going. Don't give up. We're all behind you. There's so many people here. Like, we are here. We are willing to do whatever. A lot of people are done.
Done?
Done
Just
with
done.
all of this. Yes.
Done and over it all.
I would love to see this come to a peaceful resolution, but I 100% don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately.
Soon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I've been through a lot when it comes to the things that have been going on in the country the last couple of years.
Same here. Same
I
here.
lost a really good friend to the violence in Portland. And
I'm so
Aaron,
sad.
we love you. Aaron J. Danielson. And I see it turning bad if something doesn't happen. I really do. And it's unfortunate. I don't want to see that in our country.
What is your message to President Trump if he would have a chance to see this?
Thank you for everything you've done, President Trump, for our country. We really appreciate it. The silent majority really appreciate it. You've done so much, and I hope that you will get a chance to do more. Keep fighting.
President Trump, please stay there if you can. We appreciate everything you've done and been a great leader. Thank you very much.
Talk to him directly. What would you say?
President Trump, we love you. Do not concede. We don't want you to concede. If you have to call martial law, do it. We are behind you 100%. You see all the patriots out here. You see all the Americans out here. We stand for you. We'll be with you. And we have your back 100% forever. And we want Don Jr. to run next.
16 more years.
That's right. 16 more years.
So what is your final message to President Trump if he could hear this message today?
Keep a movement going. This can't stop with this, a protest today. Keep a movement going, and we move forward and push on to the next election.
What would you say to him directly?
My God, we love you. You have such an opposition coming to you, and I was completely apathetic. It was my own fault that I gave no shit about politics up until it started affecting me in the last 4 years. But just to finally have evaluated the situation and taken it from a scientific perspective where I analyze everything, I'm a skeptic of all. You're taking on so much that's important to America head on. It's beautiful, and we respect that. The people are behind you, and I'm sorry, I grew up in a Democratic family. I had to walk away. My father's telling me I'm following Trump BS around the country, and I'm like, no, I'm following history. Marcus Aurelius out.
And what would your direct message to Donald Trump specifically be?
Hey, you're the first person that I, that's held that office that I've actually believed in.
Don't quit. You don't have to be in office to keep preaching. He's already started something. I'll be honest, I don't completely agree with him and some of his decisions, but I love the fact that he's brought so much of this to light. Corruption and everything that's been shady going on for years and years, and the movement he's started bringing stuff to light is what I'm fully behind. I don't want to see Biden in.
Of course.
But at the same time, it's the better of two evils. So, take what you can get.
What would you say to President Trump directly?
Oh, wow. I have so much love and respect and admiration for our president. He's incredible. He stepped out of a billionaire lifestyle to be ridiculed every day just to save this country. And I think that there was no better time than right now, because we are on the verge of, the Great Reset or whatever they want to call it. We are on the verge of global socialism if we don't do something now. And where will anyone turn if America's not here? And Trump he's the president of the world. People love him all over, especially people that have dealt with socialism and communism. He is a hope, a beacon of freedom, and just he touches people right in their heart. So that's why I'm here.
At the real Donald Trump, I hope you're tweeting right now, and I hope they don't fact check you.
Talk to him directly.
It's kind of weird because I do love the man. I thank him for his courage. I thank him for having there's some words I could use. I'll try to use kind of, family-friendly words to be able to shake up the establishment, the media, the power, our Republicans and Democrats who've sold out the middle class. and the working people of this country with lies and propaganda. And I love him. We're here for him. We're praying for him, unabashedly and unashamed. We support him.
What would you say to the president?
The best news I could give President Trump right now is the news that Hillary Clinton gave to Joe Biden. Don't ever concede. Fight to the very end, okay? Because this election is rigged. They've rigged it against Donald Trump, unfortunately. And this is much bigger than Donald Trump. This is like this is our whole country. This is actually the world, because the whole world's been affected.
That's the truth. End the censorship.
You know, so like, just do the right thing, President Trump, and do not concede, just like Hillary told Joe Biden, under any circumstances, and let the truth come out. Declassify all those classified documents that the government doesn't want to come out. If they're gonna do that to you, only you can do that. Only you can declassify everything, audit the Federal Reserve, and expose. Just bring out the truth.
President Trump recently announced his third bid for president, and the New American Media will cover the 2024 election cycle as well. Share our content, subscribe, and stay tuned. Brian Engelman, co-produced with Blake Wally, for the New American Media.
There was no notifications going to your phone, like an Amber Alert, like evacuate. I get alerts from Denny's. There actually was a bunch of houses right here that aren't here now. You can see, look how big the river is, like the riverbed. Holy, look at this Dollar General, bro.
It blesses your heart to see the way people have come together.
Yeah. I heard like 4 different people talking about like how everybody's just worried this initial hype's gonna die away and people are just gonna forget about it. And really none of these communities can afford to be forgotten.
Your guide to the truth. thenewamericanmedia.com.
My name's Grizzly. We are headed to Weaverville to drop off some donations. We're going to be going through some pretty flooded out areas. Really, we're going to kind of go in and check in and try to make some connections with some people down here. And we're taking a big load of supplies, and then we're going to head over to Newland and hopefully get some volunteer in and just kind of see what people need. I don't really know what to expect until we just get down here. Everybody that I know that has been down here has said like it's like worse than, you know, you can really imagine, or like watching it on a camera doesn't really give it any justice. So I guess we're about to see for ourselves kind of the real situation. There's no organization. There's no like feds stepping in to even help kind of rally and help organize the people. It's like completely community driven support between all these counties. I think there's like 28 counties they said, and 26 are in like a pretty devastated state. So
FEMA's response has been underwhelming, or it's been zero, it's been non-existent, something along those lines?
I can't say it's been zero, but from what I gather, nobody's even seen any of them, period. Like unless you're in Asheville, they've went to a few places to do like assessments, whatever that means, to see if they can get funding, and then basically they're like, oh well, we can't, so bye. At this point, basically people are just being told their lives and their towns aren't worth the extra money from the government. So
thank y'all so much for coming.
Yeah.
We just opened yesterday, and we're hoping to, if anything, we're just helping people find their way to family and telling them what roads they can take to get around roads that are washed out. And
right now people want to help, but it's so hard to get a hold of anybody and figure out who needs what. And
nobody's really stepping in to like try to organize the people, and it's
Yeah.
just people helping people the best they can. So.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how the economy is going to build back here because most of these towns are Appalachian Trail towns, so they're really dependent on the tourism, on like people coming to hike and bike, and a lot of these towns are on the trail, so people hike through and like stay there. And that's when they make all their money, is during that season. The whole Appalachian Trail is like, there's landslides, like the trail's gone, there's new waterfalls, there's so who knows how many people are even just like lost in the woods right now, and not being searched for because everything else is going on.
Do we know how many people are missing and unaccounted for at this point?
There's the mainstream narrative. As far as I know, there's, you know, still like 10, 15,000 missing or unaccounted for, and it's hard to say what those numbers will look like.
Fill up any jugs with water you can. Water, water, water.
Good point.
And batteries for flashlights. Things that you can eat without heating up.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good thing. And
always be prepared.
Always be prepared.
We're probably going to see like a year from now before they do like official tests and stuff. And that's just kind of a way, I think, for, you know, by then people will kind of forget about it and there'll be another thing happening and they'll kind of release it and people will just be like, oh, well, that was bad. My mind's blown that how many places there was not like any federal rescue mission, period. There was just no rescue effort. And now they're just saying like, oh, we can't afford to do recoveries, it'd be too expensive. You know, that's just so mind-blowing to me. It's sick. We're supposed to be the richest country, the most powerful country. We got all the resources. And they didn't do it. So now it's up to us, you know, what do we do with that information going forward? Because it's just a matter of time before more things happen like this. And do we want to keep like paying these people? The most positive thing is this is forcing people to remember what they're capable of, and it's forcing the people to come together. And it's a reminder of what's important. And it's these communities are devastated, but now all they have is each other, and there's a power in that, and there's something special in that too. So, but what hurricane like gets all the way into the Appalachian Mountains and is still a hurricane? You know, like usually by the time it's here, you might get like a tropical storm or something. You might get just some like heavy thunderstorms, like heavy rains, but like it hit this place, it was a freaking hurricane, you know, like straight up, like didn't break apart at all. Because usually they'll hit the coast of Florida, and by the time they're at mid-Florida, they've like weakened significantly. So how do you get all the way to Asheville? But there was no notifications going to your phone, like an Amber Alert, like evacuate, like this town, this area, evacuate. No, I just happened to look at Facebook and was like, oh, holy fuck, like, do I know anybody that lives here? Like, I need to call them, you know, like, get out of there. Like, nobody knew about the shit. It just came like in the nighttime and just, a lot of people just went to bed and just didn't wake up, you know what I'm saying? Just, I get alerts from Denny's like once a week, and I haven't eaten there in 20 years, and I don't know why they have my number. So why the fuck can't the government text me that there's a damn flash flood? You know what I'm saying? That's insane. Like, if Denny's can do it, the feds can fucking get their shit together. That's all I'm saying. Like, this whole area in the Appalachian Mountains, this is the place that I've always felt safe and the place that I love, and all these towns, it's literally like a nuke went off and they're just gone, and now everybody's having to figure out how to put that back together. Nobody has the right answer, and we're not getting any guidance from anybody else. But there actually was a bunch of houses right here that aren't here now. You can see, look how big the river is, like the riverbed. Holy fuck, dude. That's like a pretty small river too, man. That's like none of those. I mean, see some places that are okay, and then obviously there's a lot of people that aren't okay, you know, even right there. It's just like one little spot. There's definitely just like a bunch of houses that used to be there that are just completely gone, you know. Yeah, I think the biggest thing going forward from here is hopefully people will be aware of how difficult this is going to be for all these communities to recover. It's going to take years, and it's basically coming down to other small town communities that are going to be sponsoring individual families and bringing resources from their communities directly to them, spending their gas and their time to make sure all these communities stay alive long enough to rebuild the entire infrastructure from the ground up and try to open up the Appalachian Trail and get tourism back. I mean, that's going to take years and years and years. This is going to be a long process, and hopefully we can get people to come together and support some of these families that aren't so close by, because it's going to be eating up and just be taxing on everybody down here. So really, it's hopefully we can bring more of the country together to realize this is going to be an ongoing issue.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be an efficient supply chain.
Yeah, no, the way that it's going right now is not going to be sustainable, especially through winter, because the moment it snows down here quite a bit. The moment it starts snowing, it's going to be, for people like me, it's going to be that much harder, and everything's already muddy, like everything's been like washed out. So once there's snow on the ground, it's going to be nearly impossible to get to these people. So we got like a good month and a half, like a month maybe, to like really figure out how to get thousands of people set up to survive the winter. They're not going to be working, they're not going to have any power, they're not going to have clean water. Some of them, a bunch of people aren't going to have electricity even a month from now. So this is far from over, man. Like, I really don't, it's not going to be sustainable unless the feds or some really big private individuals start like doing some organized, directed relief and response, because towns like mine can't keep helping forever. You know, it's just not going to be sustainable. So most people are like still having to try to work while trying to help everybody else. There needs to be, like I said, this is,
yeah, imagine if we had a federal emergency management agency that could, like, you know,
that would be crazy. Like, what if we all took a little portion of our money every like week or month and like gave to something like that, so if anything happened, oh wait, it's gone.
There should be a coordination of resources.
Oh, there's
from full-time people whose job it is.
There's no money
to do this.
To do it, apparently, from the federal government. So, yeah.
But congratulations, $157 million to Lebanon.
Yeah.
Not North Carolina.
We're in Weaverville. A lot of these guys, most of them are like volunteer firemen. They're basically taking donations here to put on these different trucks. This was a safer place relatively, but it's kind of right in the middle of a lot of heavily hit towns. So from here, they're able to get donations onto these trucks and deliver them to the other towns around and in Asheville. So
I shouldn't even ask that.
Yeah, we can pay them. We give them some.
Emergency supply chain.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah, this is what it looks like.
All right, let me check. Thank you.
You said that next full, didn't you? Yeah.
Feels like we're not getting the real story here.
Everybody can lose a house in no matter what situation, fire, storm, wind.
Yeah.
But to lose your whole livelihood and everything, I mean, that's the part that's kind of griping me.
And your whole community.
Yeah.
Lose the entire neighborhood. That's what we're just here trying to do, is let more people hear the story.
Yeah.
More people need to understand, like, this is not okay.
It's not being put out there enough, for sure.
And it's not fixed. You know, it's like people have moved on to new things, and
For sure.
I don't know.
I think it'll be lost if the hurricane hits Florida too.
Yep.
That'll be their focus. You won't hear anything up here.
Yeah, it'll be washed out of the news cycle.
Yep.
Being prepared is one thing, but you know, something like this comes along once in a lifetime. Wasn't nobody ready for this.
No.
I've been fortunate for where I'm from. You've been there. We've been very fortunate. I got no, you won't hear me complain about nothing. I worry about the other people. And I admire Hunter's. He has a passion for it.
How did this first drop off go? How you feel about it?
Very good. Went good.
We got the things that they asked for.
Yeah.
As much as we could.
We're still going to need probably blankets, sleeping bags, stuff like that to bring back.
Okay.
But right now, I think it went well.
Heck yeah, awesome. On to the next place again is what?
Newland,
Newland.
North Carolina.
All right.
Apparently, they got hit pretty hard. So, where we're going now, I know the church we're going to had 2 feet of water in the church. I think the pastor lost his home. So,
okay.
I think they got it pretty rough. Just do whatever you can to help somebody else. You're gonna make me cry.
Well, that's what it is. We're all just trying to do something.
Yeah.
What, are we going to sit here and watch? Like, we're just going to ignore it?
Yeah. Well,
we're going to ignore it?
People are.
I know, but those aren't people.
No.
I don't know what we call them, but like those aren't people.
I tried to raise him to be, you know, always do for somebody else.
Yeah.
Because it could be us next time.
There, but for the grace of God, go I. Exactly.
These people can be in our town the next time doing for us.
Uh-huh. The golden rule, do unto others as you wish they would do to you.
Exactly right.
Just try to pay goodness
My
forward.
mom always told me, you treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do.
Well, this is good. On to the next one.
Yep.
Let's crush it.
Ready? Newland.
In a time like this, they're busting ass. They have good people behind them, but there's just not enough. I mean, you guys are talking to the locals, and nobody else is helping. Just because people here are strong and capable doesn't mean they don't need a ton of help right now, you know? So that's why I'm not encouraged. I'm honestly just more and more disappointed that there's not more being done from big picture. Like, they're even saying like this is not sustainable, like we're worried about what's going to happen in a couple weeks or a month. Like, that's what's on everybody's mind here. Like, yeah, we can do this for a while, like we got each other's back, but when winter gets here, and also like to rebuild a city or a town without aid from like big, you know, the government or huge corporations with billions of dollars, like if you have to do that out of your pocket, like, and what I'm hearing is they're supposed to be refrigerated trucks to be like temporary places to hold these bodies. They're supposed to just be kind of like filling them up with body bags, and they're supposed to be like sitting until people can identify them. Until they do that, they don't really have to claim that there's a death. But a lot of these places don't have power or reliable power, so I'm hearing that like basically the bodies are sitting there rotting and they're not going to be identifiable. So who knows how long it'll take for an accurate body count, or if they'll just count those as missing people and just move on. Like, but yeah, it's basically what's happening from what I'm gathering. He confirmed that he knows there's trucks like full of bodies. And he was super surprised. Like, he didn't know, he's a local. He was surprised that the narrative is being told of like, you know, a couple hundred here, like 40 people here. He was like shocked, and he was like, man, there's bodies full of people that just they can't be identified. So that came from him. It's not just a supply line. The community's doing the cleanup. The community's doing rescue. The community is doing supply support. The community is digging up dead people and trying to, you know, sort through that. So, which is really dangerous. Like, people are also like reporting getting really sick around some of these areas and stuff. That's why if you're gonna like dig in the mud or do anything, you have to wear like full PPE, like mask, full suit, rubber gloves up to your elbow, tape it up, you know. Wow, that's a lot of money.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
Look at this Dollar General, bro.
What are we even looking at here?
Basically, you're looking. You can see the water line. You see the water line?
Oh, jeez.
Look, you can see the water was on the side, up there on that second window.
Oh man,
that's so much water, bro. If you think
That
about
is,
that,
yeah.
like
from that creek, that
yeah.
little ass creek that wouldn't even go over your ankle hardly right now, was
And-
on the second story of that house less than a week ago.
and if that
Or a
place
week ago.
hasn't been treated, you could probably just condemn it.
Oh no, all these houses will have to just be, because they're full of mold. Like if you don't rip that shit out immediately,
Yeah.
you got a week, and it's done.
Everything's
Like
gonna be
it's
infested,
just so
yeah.
full of shit and mold and chemicals and everything else. Like will never be safe to breathe and live in there. Even the houses that are standing are just gonna have to be torn down. That is crazy. The water line on the roofs like that.
And that's from like this little
That's,
creek
that
down here.
Little tiny creek.
Waking up to knee-high water in the upstairs bedroom.
Yeah.
Come on. That's a bad day.
I was just saying, like, it speaks a lot that the mainstream constantly, all they do is like show people the worst shit going on in the world that they should be afraid of all the time. And then an actual situation happens that's super horrible, like a natural disaster, catastrophic. And all they're doing is telling people, oh no, there's nothing going on, nothing bad happened. You know, like they're usually, that's the fuel they're looking for to scare people. And now they're just like super underplaying it, which is such a different move than what they do all the time, you know? Like, we just
Drop-off center.
Church,
Entrance temporarily closed to the RV resort. Oh, jeez, man.
This whole
Out of the
gas station's
stores.
modded out, even, you know, like. Oh wow, look at this gazebo's there. All these buildings. Oh shit. You know, these are all local businesses. Almost everything.
That's too far? No. Just set it here?
Well, I can pull it out, or I can back right
Okay, and then just, you can set out stuff right here. It'll be great. Thank you all, and God bless y'all so much. Y'all are awesome. We appreciate it. Yeah.
This is my son. They're all with us.
Oh, okay.
We've got a.
So this church was flooded and all this stuff has been taken out of the church and just put outside from the flood damage. Very sad situation.
All this waste since it's been dirty.
the fire department knows more of that kind of
Yeah.
need out. We're just trying to anybody who comes by here to get the word out that we're here with supplies.
You guys got your hands
And
up.
then we have a crew that's in the church doing, but yeah, we've got a crew. We got a schedule for people to keep out here going for a while, as long as we
Do
possibly
you all
can.
have a need to get stuff here to people that can't?
We have had several trucks that have come and to get, like the other day we had somebody that said, oh, there's people across the creek with no bridge that they're taking their ATVs, so they loaded their truck down from our stuff and then taking it to them. So we've tried to spread the word, come here, get whatever you need and take it to whoever if you know of somebody.
You know, 'cause
Yeah.
there's so many rumors going around.
Oh, I know, and there's a lot of untruths, but then there's a lot that unfortunately is true.
I'm trying to
around
disconnect
here,
with real
yeah.
people, see what they need.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm
Our-
trying to make ourselves useful.
Yes.
But we got a bunch of stuff we need to get rid of, get in people's hands too, because I think it's going to be more than just 2 or 3 weeks. It's going to be months.
Yeah.
You know.
So there needs to be some sort of middle step toward rebuilding. Like they just need to stabilize room and board, sanitation, electricity. Just
And you know,
the
our
basics.
county manager and sheriff and emergency personnel are awesome.
Yeah.
They've been doing such a good job, and I'm sure they're just exhausted too.
They have to be.
Yeah.
And the Fed support is here. Like you said, it's here somewhat.
Yeah. I guess.
I just feel like more could be happening.
Yeah. But you know, we've seen so much rain on tops of mountains.
Yeah.
That
unusual.
Just waterfalls coming down mountains, falling in, you know, going in the creek and feeding the river basins and stuff, and it was just overwhelming. So you never dream of mountaintops get enough water to flood, and then you got the landslides on top of that. So
Yeah, and it all rolls downhill.
but you know, it's really blesses your heart to see the way people have come together.
Yeah.
And to help each other.
It's the best of humanity during the worst of the times.
That's right.
I like your system. It's very organized.
So I'm still alive today, and my son has a big passion for helping people. So we're supporting him in this and trying to help him. But this has broke my heart sitting here watching this today. But the power of prayer is still working, and I'm living proof, walking, talking, living proof. This man is too. He's been about dead 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times. Yeah.
So we have
He's
a lot.
raised me up again too.
Yeah, we just got done dropping off some supplies at the Church of Jesus Christ in Newland, North Carolina.
And we're now entering Tennessee.
And yeah, we just entered Tennessee. We were able to, they still really need a lot of stuff. It was a good connection to make. The whole town pretty much got wiped out by this little creek, and 6 of the 8 restaurants that were in the town are completely destroyed. The church had 3 or 4 feet of water in it, so they're having to completely trash everything and cut out all the drywall and insulation. Everybody's just trying to kind of band together and take care of each other. And most importantly, we're getting to talk to real people and make real connections. So as we plan going forward into long-term recovery, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Just have some people I can reach out to and see who needs what. And these communities are going to need support for months and months to come. So feel good about it. It's good to get down here, good to make some connections. That town was considered to be like kind of mildly affected comparatively, and even to say that, like, because that town is completely like devastated, like as far as like their economy and a bunch of families, and like basically the whole downtown just got flooded out. So it's weird to me, the disconnect between the reality here and what's being projected to the rest of the country, and people down here don't even know, and people up there don't know. But people down here, they seem to be holding hope, you know, and they're holding
food distribution. Yeah, a lot of these places, as you drive past, there's so many points that are collecting supplies.
I heard like 4 different people talking about like how everybody's just worried this initial hop's gonna die away and people are just gonna forget about it, and really none of these communities can afford to be forgotten. Especially they've already been forgotten by the federal government, so we're just gonna have to keep making noise about it and keep trying to get people help, and this will be like a lifetime thing for some of these places to just remotely get back to what they used to be at all. School was gone, bro.
That high school got hit.
That school is gone, bro. Really, the biggest thing is we need honesty, transparency, and communication, you know? And then we need people to take initiative and just make it happen, because nobody's gonna do it for us. It's gonna take a bunch of people that care about people, not about money, like care about what's right, and do that. You know, if you can help, then help, do what's right.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.